just to calm my brain before I risk it all. They want a war, be ready for this claw. Bare knuckle brawl. I made it this far, now it's time for war. Just keep your weapon drawn. If I'm your mistake, then come and say it to my face, and I'll bring your crimes to light. On the run, I'm the smoking gun. I gotta get out of sight. There's nowhere I can hide. Crimson blood that shakes me up. I can't escape this fear and hate. It eats me up 'cause I'm up against a wall. I'll find a way. I'll find a way to break this spell on me. I'll have the last laugh. You won't have your way with me. Bare knuckle brawl. I made it this far, now it's time for war. Just keep your weapon drawn. If I'm your mistake, then come and say it to my face, and I'll bring your crimes to light. Down shots just to numb the pain. Down to shots just to run away from it all. From it all. 3 shots and I'm on my way. 4 shots just to calm my brain before I risk it all. Bare knuckle brawl. I made it this far, now it's time for war. Just keep your weapon drawn. If I'm your mistake, then come and say it to my face, and I'll bring your crimes to light.
All right.
It's funny. It's funny.
No more
Hi,
talked about
Funny.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Every time you see us do one of these things, we're always like trying to time all of our jokes so they come out with our sign posting.
Yeah.
But we were laughing at stupid in jokes. Hi guys, welcome back. Episode 12. Holy shnikes. Am I right?
That's
Am I right,
more
chat?
than 11.
Indeed.
Juzo's 144p.
I always am every time.
Rusty.
It,
It's
it
okay, though.
never
I like
never
Rust.
ceases.
It's my favorite 144.
I love it. It's
Oh.
great. Welcome back to Shadows over Velda, Season 1, Episode 12.
Yeah.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank you guys so much in the chat and everyone watching live right now. And I'm gonna do this is the first little cheeky shout out to people who watch on YouTube. If you see this on YouTube, please comment, because I know some of you guys skip right to the nitty gritty. But if you watch this all the way through, whether when you're doing like sewing or painting or any other creative endeavor, give us a comment. Shout us out. Helps us, in the algorithm, and it also helps our self-esteem, because all of us literally sit on both the Discord and the hashtag waiting for something new to pop up.
No,
I don't know what you're
I'm
talking
never
about.
there. I'm never looking.
I'm not
Thank you
so
guys
involved.
so much. You guys are awesome, and you're the reason we do this. And I appreciate you guys fostering our creativity in a way that is both beneficial to you guys and us, because we all have fun here. It's fantastic. So thank you. This is the first time you're watching live. Fantastic. All right, I'm gonna stop reading chat. Sorry. Well, I'm gonna read chat, but
Yeah,
I'm sorry I
get
stopped
the-
commenting on chat.
Get out.
Anyway, so usually we start out with a little question for all of our characters, so that we can get a little bit more insight into what their personality is without giving too much away on the back end. So I thought a little bit about this this afternoon, and this question we'll go around, and I'm not gonna declare an order. You have to fight amongst yourselves, like I've just tossed a piece of steak at a bunch of lions.
Okay. Do we get a prize? for
what?
going first?
What coffee drink or mixed coffee beverage would, like, if you're going to a cafe, right, and if you had to make a coffee beverage that is centered around your character, what would it be? It could be anywhere from, the fanciest Starbucks, $35 triple shot pump vanilla whatever, or just a black coffee. It's up to you
I already
guys.
know.
Who wants to go first? I feel like Hayden wants to go first.
Yeah,
I say, having been like, hold on, I gotta go make an espresso before game.
Yeah.
Easy. Well, I kind of have two. So it's like
Sure.
a two-part thing. It would either be, because Argentum's really into teas, they would probably be really into like Turkish coffees.
Oh yeah.
Because Turkish coffees are so good. But
I
or
The stand and everything.
yeah, like the traditional style Turkish coffee in the
Right,
stand
yeah.
and everything. Or in Japan, there's a place where they make barrel-aged coffee, and they like make the dude, it's so cool. I want to go when I go to Japan with the hubs, but they brew the coffee. It's like $100 a cup. They brew the coffee in, like, I think it's bourbon barrels.
Ooh.
So I'm like,
you
that's
get
something.
The flavor.
You get like all the flavors, and it's just brewed in a very like interesting way. And I think because that's so unique, that's something like Argentum would be like so down to try, because they like to try all like sort of like different weird things, and they'll always try anything once. So I think that's super up their alley.
Sure. Yeah. Very good choices. Oh my God. Turkish coffee is something I've always seen in fiction being prepared, and it always seems like magic, because I'm just like, how does sand get that hot? Oh wait, it's a rock. But yeah, that's fantastic. Good shit. And Irish coffee, kind of like, liquor and coffee, especially brown liquors, go together very, very well.
Mhm.
So fantastic. I mean, I'd love to try some of that. Okay. What character is next? Anybody else got any ideas
I'll go.
before the teacher has to pick somebody?
I'll go.
Oh.
Go, Grizz.
I
So
think-
what coffee is Zeph?
No, I know that Zephyriel would drink, even at a cafe where there are so many options. Zephyriel would drink the darkest, most bitterest roast
Mm.
that they have, and sip on it at boiling hot temperature, not waiting for it to cool down,
So relaxing, right?
relinquishing the pain of the burning taste buds and
I
the flavor of the beans.
Yeah, I like black coffee myself. I like to drink it just to taste it, you
Yeah.
know. I also
Same.
like coffee that is so strong it's almost sour. You guys ever have that?
Yeah, I love that.
Delicious.
Mm.
I love it. So
I haven't.
dark.
I'm a sweet coffee drinker.
Oh yeah? Okay, cool.
I love my vanilla
But
latte.
Zeph themselves.
Good to
nice,
know.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice bitter brown beans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bit of brown beans.
Okay. Fantastic answer. That sounds delicious. Myself, I would have a little bit of that. Who's next? Anybody else have a coffee beverage that they would like to correlate their character to?
I think that the wall would always order the most expensive kind of blend in the coffee store.
Okay.
Like I'm
Okay.
talking like Jamaican Blue Mountain stuff. Like
Oh yeah.
super high quality, super good. He wants the best of the best. He wants to
on by monkeys 10,000 feet above sea level.
exactly like that. shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
cool.
some like I think it's called like Kopi Luwak or something, like the one that's made out of like civet cat poop or something.
Oh yeah, that's good
Oh my-
shit. Literally.
Literally good shit. Yeah.
Literally
I
good
mean,
shit. Fermented in the gut of a monkey or a
Yeah.
civet for 5
once
days.
once the wall gets paid, of course.
Yeah, okay, once in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, he indulges in the finest of the fine.
That is, yeah, of course. Love me some of that. Some of that artisanal coffee beans. All right. Let's see. So we only got like got a few people left, and I'm gonna do a little. We're
got a
gonna have a
few
fun one
stragglers.
after all the players are done too. So, who's next? Leju, I think.
Sure, I'll go
you
next.
Piped up. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think like perhaps like on first inspection, maybe like you would think Phoenix would go for like a like a very strong black coffee, but I think I would say Phoenix's go-to is definitely going to be like an authentic like Cuban coffee,
Okay.
like brewed, like ground with the traditional grinder and then brewed in the pot and then paired with obviously Cuban rum and
Oh
a
yeah.
nice
Okay.
cigar.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like the way that you would have it in Cuba, like the authentic way, which is to also add alcohol, which is I mean, obviously, like I would love that too, which is not to say that I'm alcoholic. Please drink responsibly. Unlike me, do as I say and not as I do.
Understandable. Correct. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's it's a fantastic little blend there. Everyone's like picking different like areas of the world, which I think is kind of fun. Where it's just like, oh, this is I would drink a Sumatran blend. I would drink this what have you. I love it. Okay. So that leaves Juzo. What kind of coffee would Sunder drink?
Something with a really big caffeine count. So something.
Okay.
Like
All right.
Death
So
or
you're more
something
interested in
similar.
the pharmaceutical effects of the coffee.
Pharmaceutical.
Yeah.
Okay. Just like that Death Wish stuff that's like
Mhm.
supposedly super strong, but it's actually just like
Yeah.
really dark roasted.
Spiked
pretty much.
lemonade.
How do you put more caffeine in the bean? You can't. Come on. What are you trying to sell me?
Can.
And the darker the roast, the less
True.
caffeine there
The
is.
less caffeine there is. Exactly. That's why I always get blonde roast.
I think
I'm a
Zephyria
junk-
would be a caffeine addict.
Oh yeah. I think why do I think that every character here would be a caffeine addict?
Probably.
I say as I finish my
That's the-
glitch energy hashtag
Yeah.
totally sponsored.
Hashtag totally sponsored.
Hey, fellow sponsored. Let's go.
Fellow sponsored. That's fantastic, guys. And here's the wild card pick, guys. I want to take a shout out really quick to two people that have been integral to this entire process of us doing D&D on a weekly basis and semi-weekly basis. And those people are Eros Alikin in chat. He is a fantastic moderator, and he is also an assistant of mine who manages to facilitate a lot of the extracurriculars, I guess you would call them, that I do. Without him, none of this would be possible. So thank you so much for all of your help, Eros, and thank you for everything you do. Fortunately, you're not in Discord, so I can't ask you the question, but we're going to go to the next person who is totally also just as impressive and just as necessary to this whole process. Nate the Moth. Nate is our producer, so everything that you see on screen right now was made and is being manipulated by both Nate and Eros in some way. So whenever you see
Big
a
ups.
snap zoom to a character as we do a little bit of RP, whenever you see a pivot over to an image or something to get your guys' immersion going. Whenever you hear music and sound effects that me and Native kind of put together and Nate chooses based on the moment, that's all him. This is not premeditated. This is all based on what we decide to do as a group. So if we, the horse sound effects that we had a while ago of us like going on the road, those were all, Nate making sure the faders were working and everything. So that immersion, a lot of that is thanks to Nate and Arrow. So thank you guys so much. Nate, what coffee? I know Nate has an OC Lepido Lamplight that is kind of fantasy based. What kind of coffee would Lepido drink?
Straight up Kahlua.
All right, no punches. Let's go. Let's do shots of Kahlua, guys.
Let's go.
That counts. That counts.
All right.
It does.
Fantastic. Perfect answer. All right. Thank you so much again to Eros and Nate, and thank you to chat once more. But let's dive in. Let's get a little bit immersed ourselves right now, and we are going to do a quick little player recap. We'll go around the table and say what were some of your favorite things that happened last session. We didn't do a whole lot last session. We just managed to get out of the spine of Lolth, deep in the bowels of the spine of Lolth. We were in the Goblin Coliseum. We had negotiated to some extent. Anybody want to talk about the little negotiation you did with Darkoash Ta and between the goblins? Because I think he was gonna eat them.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I'll talk about it if that's okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right. So we spoke to Darkwashta, Argentum, having freshly learned Draconic. Don't worry about it.
And other things.
And other things.
And
also,
amongst many.
Don't worry about it.
I'm
Don't
worried
worry
about it.
Don't. I told you. It's fine. You have nothing to worry about, especially you. Anyway, so
You're
we
a
spoke to
liar.
Darkwashta.
You're a
Yeah, I'm
liar.
sorry. I'm so giggly today. Sorry. Yeah, we spoke to the dragon, and Argentum convinced them to work with the goblins if the goblins agreed to help Darkwashta build their horde. So the goblins, needing direction of some kind, agreed to do so, agreed to guard instead of pillage. They would guard the way into
Nice.
Ivbranca with the help of Darkwashta, and in order to keep the dragon on their side, they would mine for metals and gems to keep him happy, and the dragon agreed to also assist the goblins in guarding the path into the city, which gave the goblins a bit of direction and stopped the dragon from eating the living goblinoids, as well as our horse.
Oh, true.
The horse got out alive.
Yeah, that I was like, horse. I'm like, no. Absolutely not. We met 3 wonderful dwarves who were actually tasked with transporting the dusk flower pollen, as well as a bunch of other things for the city, like stuff for the bookshop. I believe there was the drieder silks and everything sort of
Yeah,
mixed
everything was
in
in
there. Yeah, everything was in there. So now we are transporting everything back to the city, is where we left off.
Yeah.
Could I add something to the recap?
I guess.
I just wanted to add the goblins are supposed to be sharing the great word of the Reformed faith, and that
Oh my lord.
Veyron is a little bitch.
Little bitch boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I also want to add
100%
something
agreed,
really
and
quick.
very emphatically, especially Shinebringer.
Yeah.
Was one of the ones that was just like,
Yeah.
that's something that we can do.
I want to add something really quick as well to the end,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is Alpha, your mic returned to being very quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, is it quiet again? Oh shit. Never mind. How about
He's in
now?
the well. Oh my
That's good now.
god, so much alpha.
All right, that's good.
He's the
Perfect.
alpha and the omega. Shit.
I'm the Alpha and the Anarchy. Okay. yeah, it was a lot of cleaning up. There was a lot of moving things around, making sure that you guys got all of the trade goods that you needed in order to take back into the market district of Ivbranca. You had Kelly and the dwarves are coming back with you. You guys managed to get out of the Spine of Law after losing. Admittedly, you lost a little bit of some of the hoard that you guys have kind of dragged with you. The spoils of not only the goblins but the spoils of Ken Magane, who you learned was corrupted by Veyron. Convinced somehow through mind manipulation, through some sort of magic, through extortion, what have you, to fight for him and as a Drider or a Drider creature, which ultimately you guys managed to destroy the actual body of Ken. He is no longer with us in any way, but you got a little message from Veyron. He doesn't seem to be too pleased with your actions, and you have kind of cemented yourself as a thorn in his side. Maybe not, persona non grata, but like you're an issue that he may have to deal with in the future.
He has marked us for death.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. It's one way to put it.
Just slightly.
But after you guys got out, you through a fairly arduous process, I would imagine. It took several hours. You had to hoist things down because there was a small waterfall and several small footfalls of rocks and stone that you guys had to get down with a carriage as you were leaving through the traveler's entrance. You guys wrangled Penelope. The wall wrangled Penelope. At first, it was the wall pushing all of the carriage out. But once you guys managed to get a horse, and not just any horse, but the Penelope, hitched up and tacked up to the cart itself containing all the trade goods, it was a fairly smooth ride. Once you guys emerged from the cave, you'd realize it had been sleeting and snowing for several hours while you guys were in there. The roads themselves are brown, like a chocolatey mud with vanilla, like a rocky road ice cream as you carve your cart through this fresh fallen snow, through this crust that has developed, and you guys are one of the only people to have left Downwater through that edge of trees. So a few eyes on you as you merge your way into the traffic that is approaching into Ivbranca. It's not terrible. You're probably not, you're not stuck for hours. The trip there is going to take about, an hour, but it's no longer than it was previously. It seems to be flowing fairly quickly. There are carts in front of you. There are carts behind you. There is, carriages and guardsmen walking up and down, highwaymen walking up and down. You're approaching the city. In the cart with you is Kelly. The three dwarves. Let me. I gotta triple check and make sure I have the right names for these guys. His name was Pepper, I think, right?
Pepper.
Yeah, Pepper
Yes.
Stillwell. The leader of the two. You haven't gotten the other two's names quite yet. There's a taller dwarf, which how tall can a tall dwarf be? And then you have a fairly stout dwarf, and then Pepper Stillwell themselves, who has an air of age to him. It looks like he's been doing this for quite some time, and he is on top of the cart itself. I assume, Wall, are you going to be the one piloting the cart?
Yeah, I can do
Okay.
it.
Pepper is sitting next to you. Every
Horseman.
10 or so minutes, he's giving you direction, or he is telling you, he's pointing out various points of interest and telling you what they were 10 years ago, or this used to be a restaurant, or this was once a field, this was all farmland, kind of thing. It's like an old man sitting in your passenger seat. The rest of you guys, you just kind of hanging onto the cart. It's not terribly big. The wall is visibly weighing down the trusses of this cart, coincidentally giving it a lot of grip into the ground. So it's easy to get through the snow. But You guys have about an hour, 90 minutes in open air until you get to the gates of Ivbranca. You're passing through farmland, the Great Heart. Themselves, they're being picked. This is the prime season for them as it starts to turn winter. Into the dead of winter. The skin of the Great Heart is just right. And several farmers are out picking their crop. There's horses being drawn up and down the furrows of the farms themselves, and then as you get closer, the buildings begin to come into view. But you guys have about an hour. What would you like to do with it?
Could I get Kelly's attention?
Yeah, sure.
Just by, like, a
Kelly
nudge?
seems to be. Kelly's staring off into space, into the vast gray, overcast sky, almost purple overcast sky. He's got this 10,000-yard stare as he is just thinking to himself.
I get up next to him and pretend to stare off. Say, what are you looking at?
He kind of snaps himself out of it and looks at you a bit more animated. Does it matter to you?
No, I guess not. I was wondering if you are satisfied. The mystery of your wife's murderer is closed. We have troubles ahead, but Ken Magane is dead.
Yeah,
How are you feeling?
Ken's dead. I don't think the mystery's closed quite yet, Zeph. Because I don't know. In the last few seconds of fury that I felt against him, I don't know what it was. And then Lester comes out of the sky and flaps his wings before he perches himself on the side of the cart next to him, and Kelly kind of gives his head a little bit of a rub and a pat scratch behind the feathers. I felt he was being honest. I felt like he was innocent. I felt like he was scared, confused, angry. Just like me. And I'm gonna be honest, Zeph, and you feel his gaze turn from the grove of great heart trees to you. I don't know what to make out of it. She's not dead. Allegedly. But where do we go from there? Where do I go from there? What does this have to do with any of you? And I do want to take a second and Zeph, you feel him grab your hand. And he starts to rub your thumb. I want to say thank you. Without you guys, without you, I don't know where I'd be. And now there is hope. I'm scared, I'm confused. I feel manipulated, but so was the man I was hunting for 4 years. And I pity him. Dare I say I forgive him. But yeah, that's... He kind of gives Lester a bit more of a stern pat and scratch. That's where I am. How about you?
Take my hand away. I know not of what methods he had in mind, but you should be aware resurrection comes at no small price.
Do you know something?
Just-
Any information is more than I have.
Well, I'm trying to remember what exactly Kinmagana had said about his wife. But I'm forgetting what he said.
He said, let me look here. He said that his soul, or her soul, pardon me, is that she's not dead. I had it here.
Yeah.
And then I lost
She's
my
not
page.
dead.
She's not dead. It's like her
Essentially.
soul is like. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Her soul is weighed down by love for Kelly. So she's not dead, not really, but it's more like her soul is refusing to pass on. Is basically what we
Correct.
Would I at least know the kind of like basics of how?
Yeah, I imagine you've seen it happen. Well, yeah, no, I imagine you've seen it happen.
I just know that by magical means, it is expensive, either in the cost of valuables or, in worst cases, the cost of life.
Have you done this before?
Not me personally. But I have been reborn in some ways.
Zeph, I don't know you very well. And I don't think you want to know me very well. But if
What gave you that impression?
I don't know. Something about you seems to want to remain mysterious. You don't seem very open with a lot of who you are or what you are. It's not lost on me what happened in that cave. We all saw it. And
What do we see?
if there's anything I can do to help you, I know some people. That's the least I can do. But yeah, on the subject of resurrection, I've tried to bring some friends back. And let's just say I'm nervous to try that on my wife.
Good. That is all I wanted to know. Know that you knew to be cautious.
Of course. It's always a price.
Zephyr just sits back down and looks the other way.
Okay. Yeah, Kelly's gaze returns to the gray tart trees as Lester hops up on his shoulder and kind of nuzzles his chin a little bit. Yeah.
Would anybody else like to do anything? Say anything?
I have a thing, but go ahead.
I also have
Go
a
ahead.
thing, but you can go first.
Mine might be a little lengthier, so go ahead.
You guys are all
You go
queuing up.
first.
That's crazy.
You go first.
No, you go first. No, I think that mine would work better, like near the end of this.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to create a mind link between myself and Zephyriel.
Ooh.
So only the two
Roll
of us.
back.
Yeah, baby. Been a minute. I'm going to create a mind link between the two of us and say in Celestial, you have quite the affinity towards living creatures, don't you? I've seen how you are with all of the animals and monstrosities that we've come across. It's interesting about you. You're far more warm than you give off.
Sorry, I only got like a few of those words. Could you repeat the sentence? It's been a
Yes, I
long
can.
time. No, I'm kidding. And so what?
Nothing. I. It's just something I've noticed. And if you are responding, then that means I was correct.
Yay for you, Argentum the author.
It's frightfully boring. Argentum the author. But I suppose that is all I am. To gods, even. There is one thing I believe I am also correct about you, but it is the language is newer to me. I've spent the last couple days trying to learn it, so perhaps you can fill in some gaps for me?
At what gain of mine?
You can ask me a question and I will be truthful? Or as truthful as I am able to be?
As truthful as you're able to be. That inspires confidence. What do you want help with?
Well, your tattoos. I believe I've figured out what they say. But I was wondering if you could tell me so I could see if I am correct or not.
In the last few days, you've been studying celestial and abyssal to what? Harass me?
No. I had no idea that you would understand celestial. I enjoy learning the least or the less studied languages, like celestial, abyssal, goblin, draconic. I have no intention to harass you, Zephyriel.
What is your question?
My question is, what do your tattoos say? I believe I can read them, but I cannot see all of them, and I'm not going to ask you to disrobe, especially in this cold. It would also be rather inappropriate.
This is all with the mind link?
Mm-hmm. This is all in our heads, so no one else can hear it.
Okay. I guess you would see, unless you're trying not to draw attention to looking at Zeph, but he looks he fidgets a bit uncomfortably, almost like shivering.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen them myself.
Oh.
I was told the abyssal language can sometimes warrant two meanings. Someone of the old faith might read these different than those who practice the reform. 3 of the words have those double meanings. They're meant to say or empower growth, reverence, empowerment. Or they could say pain, fear, and power.
I see.
But there is one word that is, cannot be mistaken. It just simply says chaos.
Well, you are rather chaotic, aren't you?
I try my best.
And you succeed. I realize we do not always. Apologies for the phrase, but we do not always see eye to eye. But this will stay with me. This is vaulted, so to speak. I will not tell anyone. Not even that you speak Celestial. I'll keep it secret.
I would implore you to keep it secret to yourself, too.
What?
My question for you. Celestial is not something you study. How did you come to learn it so quickly?
They'll pause and kind of look down at their inkstand hands. Growing up, I had a friend who's always my study buddy, as it were. And I picked up a few of their tricks of remembering things, and throughout my travels and meeting the many people from Lolthlorian and beyond, that you pick up pieces of language, you learn to translate them, and I suppose it came with time, and recently it clicked through study, and thinking of what I learned from that friend.
You picked up a study buddy.
Picked up. They were a childhood friend. A childhood friend, I suppose I could say.
Well, these languages can attract those you might not want the attention of.
That is good to know. I only ever intended to speak them mentally to you, if I'm being honest. But also now I can read all those abyssal scrolls we found.
So your goal was to harass me.
It was not to harass you. I was only going to speak them mentally, not to give the game away. Or game, I say. Give the game away to the others in the party. You are private, as am I. I wanted to respect that. It is not harassment, it is from a place of respect for you. Beings like yourself are rare, Angel.
I am no angel. Don't count on our interactions being this tame. I am just exhausted.
Oh, I would be disappointed if they were.
But next time we stop, there is something else I'd like to ask you.
Certainly.
In the privacy of only our company.
Sure. Absolutely. Whatever you want. They'll say out loud, as this has probably been an extended silence. So I have some theories about all of what we've been dealing with, but I don't know whether everyone wants to hear them now or later.
Oh, thank God someone finally said something. Jesus
We've
Christ.
got time. It's you might as well.
We have a long drive ahead of us, so better get.
Kelly's kind of like fussing over the trade goods, making sure they don't get too like wet from the snow and sleet and stuff like that as we talk.
First of all, I'm almost glad that that we are a thorn in Veyroun's side, as I'm rather offended that all he had to call me, that all a god had to call me was the author. It's so unimaginative. Anyways.
I mean, if it's what you do, then it's what you get, no?
I suppose. I could say something about what he called all of you, but I won't.
Glad we're on the same page.
Anyway.
Wall's gonna call from the front. Maybe he is a fan of your books.
You know, if a god is a fan of me, he does not show it very favorably.
Gods have no
From
need
what I
for
know, he's-
books. Are
My-
they supposed to be all-knowing?
What, gods?
They can't all be, can they?
They
They
cannot
all
know.
know about everyone else's knowing. So it kind of is like no one knows everything, everyone knows everything. It's too complicated. Well, logically, it's impossible, right? That every god knows everything?
It would be impossible, and that leads into the theory I've been pondering on our way here.
Which is
Well, it's similar to what I was saying back in the cave. It feels as though the children of Lolth are rising up and making themselves known. Think about it. Feyroun, Selvatam, and I don't know much about Elistray in this, though. We haven't really heard much of her, but it leads me to believe, and this is just a theory, what if there is a conflict brewing between the three of them? Because Veyroun is building an army of Driders underneath the city. Yes, it's absolutely a power play. But he is building an army of Driders. Selvatam is holding a tournament, which leads me to believe, and oftentimes tournaments have a winner or multiple winners.
Sure.
So he could be building up forces of his own, and perhaps, again, theory, perhaps he is trying to find the strongest fighters in the realms.
Yeah,
Work for him, perhaps.
Oh,
Yeah.
an
Yes.
army needs generals.
Yes.
On that topic, are we still doing that?
I mean, I assume
I don't
so.
know.
Okay.
Kelly holds his
Why?
fingers up to the sky. He does some like weird rudimentary math with his. He does some weird ranger math with his fingers and his in his head, and he's like, "Yeah, we got about a week and a half until that starts. I think that's plenty of time to get there."
Sounds good to me. And what about the last one then? You said there's 3 of them?
Yes, Elistray, but outside of, well, hardly anything. We have no leads, at least nothing that I've picked up. I don't know about the rest of you. We hardly know anything about what moves Elistray might be making here. So,
Well, I have a quick question, DM.
Sure.
Did the blacksmith, Kyle, right? Or Krillin?
Yes.
Krillin?
Let me grab this just so I get all the information here. Yes.
Kyle
Yes.
or
The blacksmith.
Krillin Or...
Krillin.
Krillin is the blacksmith's name. Kyle is his son. Yes. Krillin
Didn't he
Blackforge.
but before me, Sunder and Wall, didn't he confirm it was the blade of the Silver Sister?
Oh yeah, yeah. He told Wall that. I'm not sure if you
Oh.
guys were privy to that. I think maybe it might have been whispered to the Wall, but I'll leave that up to you guys if you want to know
Yeah,
that information or not.
I think he specifically only whispered it to the Wall, and Wall hasn't shared it with anybody yet.
Right. Okay. Cool. That was correct.
Right. I can't remember. Wall, when we talked by the waterfall, we didn't talk about your blade at all? Just the gods?
Just the gods in general, but not the blade.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Not the blade itself.
I remember trying to make a check about how Elfstray connects with her thing or her people, and I failed. So no, none of us know anything. That's all I wanted to confirm real quick. before I start talking out of my meta ass.
Meta
That ass
game.
meta.
Could I at least think upon what I know of Elistray?
Of course,
since
yeah, of course.
she's,
Please make a roll. Make a religion check.
Okay.
The tattoos spread to the ass. It says meta.
Real.
Tattoo on my ass that says meta.
It says meta and abyssal. I don't make the rules. Church of Law, whatever.
Thank God.
I just got a 10.
A 10?
Yes.
With a 10, you can surmise that, yes, based on what you know of the familial relationships of Lolth and hell, all of the abyssal gods at this point, one does not move without the others moving, kind of like, like a chess piece, right? There are turns and counter turns, right? Especially with how intense the relationships are between this family. Nothing is left unanswered. So, because of that, you would imagine Elistray is making a move somewhere, somehow, doing something. But this is based on just what you have learned from liturgical readings, from who you have learned from and what you were taught of both your higher power and where you were on the material plane. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
We may not have seen Alistray's move yet, but I know that we will soon. It has been willed that we are deeply entangled in this web between the gods.
Then you're sure of that? We just haven't seen it yet?
I'm sure. One sibling would not sit out on this family feud. With Lolth being mostly dead. Perhaps they are fighting for the top throne.
Do you think... Well, Veyroun managed to procure one of the eyes of Lolth. Do you think the others plan to do similar? Whoever could be a race, so to speak.
I was thinking the same thing, actually. I mean, I feel like it'd be, unwise if one of them is making an arms race and the other ones aren't following.
It would be. What do all of you think? That's what I have so far.
It's like Zeph said. It's not like there's going to be one child that's left out on this. I mean, both of them have shown what they're doing. It's only a matter of time until Elistray does something. But there is something that has been bothering me for a while. It was what happened when we were on top of the tower. Why was it that Veyroun was going after your whip, Zeph?
Sorry, I said that out loud. Sorry.
I like to think Kelly said that, like, oh shit.
It's in character for Kelly.
I thought it was Kelly, so you're free in my brain.
Just Kelly said it under his breath, it's fine.
Perhaps he saw me as a threat, as he should, given our recent encounter.
Yeah, with the the things and shit.
Your whip is magical, yes? Oh, apologies, Phoenix.
No, you're good.
No, it's a boring, normal old whip. I'll let you look at
Somehow-
it if you want.
I would, and somehow I do not believe you.
Especially after what we saw in the Colosseum. I'm not buying that.
That's powered by my power.
And you get your power from...
Me? I have trained a long time to be able to fight like this with no eyes. See what cannot be seen.
I mean, you and the eyeball actually have a lot in common too, huh?
I did not think of that.
But I mean, I was curious. With all the siblings, running around, and as you said, Loth being mostly dead. I mean, you're still on Loth's side, no? So where do you sit at this? Where do you wedge yourself here, at this table?
At which table?
At the table against all the kids, no?
There's
I
a
mean,
table and the couch.
you follow Loth, so you're gonna be against all three of them, as well.
That would make a lot of sense as the way they've branded all of us.
It would also make sense. I was thinking about the assassins that we've run into. It would make sense why Zephraiel is the primary target. You very loudly, at least to us, declare your worship of Lolth.
Yeah, you're still peddling that
Zeph.
shit too, huh?
Kelly looks at you and says, "Would they be after you or the web?"
Why is the attention on me? I don't appreciate the sudden
See, this is
ganging
what
up
I
on.
mean. You don't want to talk about yourself.
Yep,
Well,
sometimes
many-
people have good reason not to talk about themselves.
Well, if
That's fair.
if we're to help you, like you helped me, it may be necessary to know a few things.
I did not ask.
I'm
for
not
that.
going to pressure you. Hell, sure, fine, that's okay. I did. I get it.
Yeah, he's the ass, not us.
And if you don't want it, I won't give it. But maybe your friends should know. He turns and stares back at the horizon.
What a poet.
DM, one quick question.
Yeah.
The Reformed faith,
Correct.
do they believe that Lolth will approve of it?
Approve of the faith itself?
Yeah.
They believe that
Do they
Lolth
justify
is,
it?
for all intents and purposes, Lolth is gone. It's more of a,
Okay.
I feel it in the air, and less a, I can summon physically this entity. Does that make sense? Where it's like she has been trapped and then spread to the different planes, so there is no hope of her coming back, which is why a lot of their prayers and their seances and what rituals and stuff have gone unanswered, because she's just unable to manifest. Because of that, the Great Silence, they call it, they don't believe that she cares. They don't believe that she will ever come back. So the only path is forward, right? In order to be accepted by everybody and actually work as a unit, as a religion that will get more followers, they've realized, well, we can't beat everybody. We can't we can't be a religion of toxicity and violence. We have to adapt these tenets to a more accessible audience, right? So it's less. They don't really. It doesn't. Lolth's approval doesn't really matter. If she was able to be manifested, she would probably not approve, if that's the question. But they don't think that. They don't think about that really, because it's hard for them to get in contact with her.
You were asking if I am allied to Lolth, Phoenix?
Yeah, I mean, just getting the lay of the land, Like, I mean, unlike these two, I'm not under your employ or nothing, but I am shooting for you, so if I'm gonna be shooting for you, I'd like to know who I'm shooting for.
I am conflicted. For the last few years, for all intents and purposes, Loth has been gone. Yet we saw her apparated on top of the tower.
That's
So
true.
maybe her influence yet lingers. Definitely felt like it was her.
Definitely seemed like it was her, judging by the altercation.
Regardless, I walk in the name of the church. It is my church. The priestesses who I owe my allegiance.
Huh.
This reformed faith is meant to bring more people together. To revere Loth, yes, but to empower community more. If Loth were to be alive, return. And turn on the reformed faith with wickedness. I am unsure where I would stand.
So you
Most
think
do
there's a
not-
possibility we're shooting against all four of them? Just a yes or no question.
What is the purpose of the vestiges of Loth, the artifacts?
You asking me? If you're asking me, who do I ask? I got no clue.
I suppose to
How about your theories?
my thought on the matter is that I think it was to. I believe it is twofold, or perhaps more. There are always more pages and things like these. I believe it is both to scatter her essence, but also as a means of control. And judging by Veyraun's words, especially at the parting of the souls, it is control that he wants. From my little understanding of male drow in that culture, they are not often. They don't usually come out on top.
Huh.
So, I think it is him wishing to control what he could not control in whatever equates to godly youth, and to rise up for the male drow, etc., etc. I do not know. Again, knowledge is limited in that area, but I think it is to both scatter and control both, if possible.
So he's got massive mommy issues.
Oh my goodness,
You'd be
absolutely.
right.
It's all just for that? Because he's, a sad little boy all his life, and now he's trying to put his mom underneath his boot? That's kind of... I mean,
Now you're
what
getting
you
it.
do in your bedroom, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to shame you, but...
Church of mommy issues.
But I mean, it's most likely more than that, unless it is the gods, and gods forbid, forgive me for this, but gods can be rather petty, from my understanding.
Tell me
Starting to
about
learn
it.
that now.
What was that, Sunder?
Said, tell me about it. As much as I've heard. Ugh. Even seeing some of the things that Veyraun has been talking about. He's very petty. From the looks of things, if I remember right, didn't they mention on top of the tower that if they had all the pieces, like whoever held them could bring Loth back or potentially bring them back? Maybe that is what he's after. He wants all of the control so no one can bring them back, so he can be in control.
Interesting.
That is what I was thinking about as well, yes.
Or perhaps He would to bring her back to steal her power.
Want to.
Subsume her divinity, so to speak.
I mean, you only had one piece, right? And with only one piece, she appeared. So, I mean, imagine with 8.
If he were to take Lolth's divinity, he would become unstoppable pretty much. We've already had our encounters with him. Hell, Wall, out of all of us, Wall is the only one who's actually done substantial damage to him.
Physically.
Yeah, physical damage.
He just
Wait,
like laughs at the front of the.
Kelly perks
Wait.
up.
That sword.
Wait, you did what?
Yes.
I cut into him twice.
Yeah, he slashed the
Yeah.
dude. That's why I
With a
thought he
lot.
wasn't really like a big
That's-
shot or nothing.
We have a lot
That's
to fill you in on. Kelly.
Improbable. How did you do that?
It was with the
How did
sword,
you-
yes?
In a natural 20.
Highly improbable, however, not impossible.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, to answer your question, Kelly, it is the sword that we found underground, held by these cultists.
In the old slave tunnels?
Yes, the very same. It was a gift bequeathed to me by the rule of blades, but I must confess, I think when you speak of Elistre's machinations and her lack of presence, I believe she already has a pawn on the board, so to speak.
And who might that be, Wall darling?
It is me. I think I have been chosen to be her proxy in this little feud between the gods.
As you say that,
Wait, what?
you slowly start to feel. I mean, you and your glaive, Wall, are literally and figuratively attached at the hip. This is an extension of your arm. This is something that you have been, practiced with for decades almost at this point. Since you were a child, you've learned to wield this weapon. And you are so in tune with every tiny little facet of it that it almost disturbs you to feel slight pressure on the flat end of the blade near your helmet. And it's almost as though somebody like Argentum is tapping away at the blade itself. And it's like, just a little bit of pressure pushing you forward ever so slightly, but it's fervently pushing you forward. And you feel it start to like hum on your back.
That
hear
is
this?
all I will say on the matter. I feel like we are being watched.
We can discuss it when we get where we're going. I don't think we need to discuss it too much. There's many questions to be answered, and
I feel we spawned more questions than answers here today.
you're not wrong.
DM, could I ask you a
Sure.
question? What's the scenery like? Like what
it
are we passing by? How's the sky look?
So the sky is sky's like a dull gray, almost like a purpley early morning kind of vibe. It is cold, probably in the low 30s maybe. There on either side of you, there are about 4 to 5 foot like gouges in the land, divots, these little craters for like water and stuff to slough off of the actual road itself that's paved. And then for maybe about 1.5 miles, 2 miles on either side, you have gray tart groves, and flower beds for other medicinal herbs and such. There are sparse, these little tiny like pagoda, almost Japanese style buildings that are every now and again. And then a couple miles, maybe 5 to 10 miles behind you is the tree line that you guys came out of. And then, so it's, if you're facing north, it's southwest is the spine of Lolth itself. And you guys are going towards Ivranka, and in front of you, you see these large obsidian purple walls the same that you guys came into the country through. That are there. There's still kind of like shards from the earthquakes that have fallen off. People working on them in the distance. But that's the general lay of the land.
I think you should all look outside of the carriage. And Zephyriel, I know you cannot, so I will try to paint you a picture with my words, as messy as my brushwork may be. Look out into the world, my friends. What do you see? You see rolling hills of plant life, of green, of flowers, of just life. And you look to the sky, and it is a little cloudy, yes, but the azure of the sky, it pierces through, unabated by the clouds that may cover it. I think it is important to look out and breathe into the nature of things and remind ourselves why we fight and why we live. It is to experience all this, to look out and see and enjoy life. And I think it is important, while we try to talk of all these machinations of the gods and all the fighting and the impending demise that we have to avert, I think we cannot lose sight of these little things. How the flowers look. How the weather seems to be on our side. I think it is what it will keep us intact when things try to break us.
Well
Lester
said, Walt.
cries and squawks a little bit at the nature mention.
Yes, Lester agrees with what I am saying.
I could not have painted a more beautiful picture with my words.
Then perhaps I should be the author then.
Wall the author.
Perhaps. DM.
Yes.
So technically, sorry, that was so like ready to go. That tickled me. So technically, my telepathic ability is just for speech, but I was wondering if you might allow me to stretch it a little bit.
Sure.
In terms of already being linked with Zephyriel at the moment.
Okay.
Would you permit me to almost implant the image of what Argentum is seeing? The rolling hills, the flowers, like the moving cart, everything that they are seeing as they look out.
Of course.
Yeah.
But
almost
as you
implant that
start
image to Ray.
to implant this image, for you, Zeph, it begins in your head, in your mind's eye, to manifest as the written word upon parchment. And then slowly, as more words and sentences, paragraphs, sagas begin to aggregate in your mind, they begin themselves to form murals and pictures, almost what amounts to an oil painting of this incredibly detailed slice of agricultural living, this beautiful snapshot of the Lolthlorian that you always pictured when you read about it in scripture. And this is your homeland. This is where all of the stories that you read of Lolth take place and are incepted. You see exactly what Argentum wants you to see.
You little shit.
You know, usually people pay for these kind of tours. You know? And we're getting it for free.
Slowly, you guys begin to make your way to the gate. You have about another 10 minutes before you start to pass past the White's Rest, which itself takes about 5 minutes to scroll on past. Is there anything anybody else would like to say, do?
Yeah,
check.
you hear in my on your mind, I guess. Ray say, "It's uglier than I imagined."
I've said it before and I will say it again, Ray. You are ridiculous. But I thought you deserved to see it too.
Beautiful. The snow, as you guys have been pressing through the Cedar Valley stretch, this grand, wide highway that goes through the entirety of Lothlorien. As you guys have ambled along, snow itself has started to let up a little bit, still just sparsely dropping in tiny white specks across the landscape. Quite beautiful. Wall, you are driving this cart. Where do you want to go?
Yeah. He'll look back into the cart. What should our first stop be, my friend?
Should it not be to the Silken Veil? We need to get the Dusk Flower to Priestess Zyra.
Ah, of course, yes. We will make that our first stop then.
That's definitely a priority.
It's the
Kelly
most
says.
pressing one, right?
Yes, because we have
How
so
many
little
hours?
time.
As you guys pass the White's Rest, in the hooded throngs of people that are meandering in and out of the massive tavern, inn, guest house, ale house combination that is the White's Rest, a figure sticks out because
No.
he looks around, he looks at the traffic itself going by, and he makes eye contact with. Hold on a second.
Roll a
That's
d12.
killing me. He makes eye contact with Sunder. Sunder, what you see is a familiar face. It is a wizened face, a wrinkled face, pocked with scars and hollow eyes, but the face itself has a familiar, I guess, warmth, homeliness to it, a comfort. And it takes a second, but the thing that really jogs your memory is the long white and silver beard. White, yes, but there are metallic streaks in it, and that's how you know exactly who this is. This is old Farmer Loman. Straw hat that he takes off as he begins to run up towards the carriage and follow at the back right flank where you're sitting. He comes up to you and says, "Sunder, oi, do you have a second?"
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Wall, can you stop the carriage for a minute?
Oi.
And
Thank
Wall's
you
gonna
quite kindly.
on request, he'll like whistle sharply to stop the horses.
The horse instinctually knows to, Penelope, very smart horse, knows to pull off to the side a little bit, and yeah, the carriage stops, and old Farmer Loman comes up to you and says, "They told me I'd be able to find you coming back," and this lighter purple-skinned drow farmer takes his straw hat off and holds it in his hand, and as he takes his hat off, something strikes you. It looks like this, for a drow, fairly old man. He's wrinkled, probably beyond his years due to his hard work. He's been socked in the eye, and his nose is bleeding, or has been bleeding over the past few days. It's broken. And he comes up to you and says, "There were 3 men who came through for you, and I don't know how they found me. Don't know how they found my family, but they want you to know they're coming. and he looks to his left and to his right, and he gets closer to you and leans up to you. They want you to know they're here. Oh, what was their name? And he starts like poking his head, which slowly turns into him like beating his noggin, trying to get information out of it. Oh, Larry, Leorin, oh, Alex, Layroth. One of them's name was Layroth.
With with hearing that name, it's gonna be very visible that Sunder has gone like pale, from about as pale as a blue tiefling can go, but he's
A nice periwinkle.
yeah, pretty much.
Nice periwinkle.
Yeah, his heart has stopped essentially. He is not doing great after hearing that name.
No, I want you to know I don't know what this is all about. I didn't have any information for them, which is probably why they did this. If they come back round, what should I tell them?
First of all, I'm sorry that this has happened to you. It should have never happened. They're looking for me. They've been looking for me for years. It was only a matter of time before they eventually came around. If they find you again, just try and stall them as much as you can.
I sent him to the local constabulary. I didn't want to see you hurt. And I fought. I did. I'm a good fighter.
You always were. You always were. Now, seeing me hurt at the hands of those three, well, you don't really know the entire story. It wouldn't be the first time, but I'm a lot bigger than I was. I think I'll be able to handle them now. I was a lot younger then. If I see
You hear
them,
him. Go ahead.
if I see them, I'll make them pay for what they did. And they will remember exactly what they did to me. They will pay.
Old
At this
Farmer
point,
Loman
Sunder's like shaking.
is what?
He's shaking with
Mm.
anger, emotion. He's scared.
Old Farmer Loman puts out a hand on your thigh, from down where he is, looking up on the carriage, and he says, "Aye, son, look at me. I've had more serious wounds than this in my life, I reckon. But you're a good kid. You got a good heart. When I took you in that day, I could feel it. And unfortunately, good people like us, sometimes we have to take a few hits. But we come back stronger. Right, Sunder?"
You're right. You're right. I'm a lot stronger than I was. I'll be able to handle it. Where did you say they were?
I sent him to the local guard post down in Center City. They could be anywhere in there. And Farmer Loman goes, "Oh," as Kelly like approaches him and starts to offer him some basic medicine. Oh, Loman. Always taking in strays. Sometimes they bite, huh? Oh, Kelly. You go back to your hole now. You're gonna be okay. Just go get yourself a pint. Yeah? Okay. Sunder, you stay safe now. It seems like you got some friends, eh? They'll keep you safe.
They will.
Yeah, they
They
will.
will.
Yeah, they will. He turns around and he starts to cry as he like dusts the mud and soot from his pants, his linen pants, as he walks back over towards the White Rest carport area and makes his way in after patting Kelly on the back.
Phoenix will see. I mean, he's like watching this whole time. You see his like face. The smile that he makes is kind of crooked, but it like you can see the smile forming, but it doesn't like reach his like the rest of his face. It doesn't go up. It doesn't. His eyes don't match his mouth, and he's gonna say, just basing it off of Sunder's reaction, he's gonna say, "So we taking the detour? Who we killing?"
Well, first of all, Loman was a very kind person in my life. He took me in at a very, very hard time in my life. He's the reason that I'm here in Ivbronca. He's the person who brought me here years and years ago. The people who he mentioned don't really like talking about it, but they're from my childhood. You guys remember that bounty that was on my head?
Yes.
Quite
Those
a number.
people were quite a number. That is the three that he was mentioning. They were in the temple that I was a part of at a young age.
Have they got a bone to pick with you?
Well, they've done more than pick a bone with me. They've done a lot. They are they're the reason for this. And he points to his horn as one of his horns is broken. They're the reason for this.
What's you do? Piss in their prayer beads?
Not quite. But I'm sure there will be more explained if we do take this detour. It's gonna get bloody. It's not gonna be great. I'm gonna have a lot of things to say. These people did more to me than I could ever imagine a person could do. I will never forgive them for it. So I'll leave that up to you guys. We want to take this detour. We can. 'Cause I know we're going to
Kelly-
be able to take them.
Kelly looks at you and says, Sunder, I'm gonna leave this up to you. These guys will be around, I'm sure, until they find you. This Duskflower, there's a timer on it. I don't want to pressure you. I know what this means to you.
Hmm.
But it's your choice. These flowers are going to get there one way or another.
And you can see a kind of anxious smile form on Sunder's face. I've waited so long to see them rear their heads around again. I say we go. They're not going to get away with what they did. And the fact that I have people backing me now, they really won't. I say we go.
It's for retribution.
Argentum would like to lean forward and just kind of hold out both their hands to Sunder as if like motioning to like take his hands or take their hands. Just offering their hands to him.
I think Sunder will take that. He'll take that offering and give you his.
We will do this. Whatever backing you need, whether it is moral support, physical, I can only speak for myself. But I told you before, I trust you. And if you need assistance, I am here for you. Whatever it is you need, I will be there. And I understand you do not know me truly at all. But I can see the connection between you and that man. It is familial, yes? In a way?
He was like the father that I never had. I didn't have a family growing up. I was just around the temple. When he found me, he cared for me more than anyone ever did. And for that, I am eternally grateful. Seeing him battered and bruised at their hands.
I mean, if it's for your old man, then we gotta go.
If I may, Kelly, are you certain these flowers will stop without us accompanying it? That they will stop the Dryaders for wreaking havoc on this city?
That's beyond my knowledge. We gotta get these to Zyra. We'll figure out what she can do with them.
Do you know this Zyra well enough to know that she could do something?
Yeah. Kelly smiles. Oh, she can do something.
She from I don't know. To read
They
into
can
that,
certainly do something.
Really go either, but I wasn't. It
I
wasn't
cannot-
sexual. If
I
that's where we're
cannot-
going.
I cannot read the intent of these words.
Already pulled one of its in, huh? You know?
Oh my goodness, please. I was going to say to Sunder before that comment that family doesn't need to be blood, does it? It is those you care for and those who care for you. You know? Family comes in all shapes and sizes.
Isn't that the truth?
I know it. So, I personally vote we get these flowers to Zyra. From our conversations,
Hmm.
I believe she is far more formidable than just a woman who runs a tavern. I believe she has some tricks up her sleeve, and I'm not sure what you know of her, Kelly. Seemingly more than me. Oh my goodness.
She's patched me up more than a few times.
What is her skill set, so to speak? I'm curious. We spoke a little bit.
She's a cleric,
Mm.
divine healer, soothsayer, seer. There's many facets to her, but her main skill set is hospitality.
Interesting.
That adds up.
I'm getting uncomfortable.
I mean, we're pretty close by, right? We can speed run this visit. I mean, unless you want to stay for a chat or whatever.
It'll
We
take
have-
about 30 minutes for us to get from here across town into the district where, well, at least Zyra's, the Silken Veil is. We'll have to pull the cart around back. Front entrance would be too conspicuous with all of us. Also, I don't know how well the guards view us.
I may be able to talk our way out of it if we run into the guards of some kind. I'm supposed to meet with their captain, after all. So I may be
Okay.
able to pull some strings. Do what I do best in talk. 'Tis all I am good at.
I thought you were good at writing.
Ah, but speaking is just words, isn't it? And writing is just the words that we don't speak.
Writing is the words we. Okay.
And what is reading?
Words that you don't. Yeah.
A story projected into your mind's eye through words, Ephrael.
Poetic.
Ah,
Cart's full of them.
Sunder, as your contractor of current,
Yes.
mayhaps I can suggest if you would like Walls and I's assistance, though I suggest not killing anyone in the middle of the city. Maybe this could be the compensation part of your contract.
You're gonna take out of his pay?
Well, no. This would be the, compensation, and then the contract would be over. You helped me in battles, I helped you in this one, and Wall.
Blood for blood.
We can
I
rip
would
their
be-
toenails off,
I definitely know about that. If I would greatly appreciate it, but with you helping me with this, as I'm a very loyal individual. I always have been. And ask Kelly. Might be hard-headed sometimes, but loyalty matters a lot to me. If you were to help me with this, I will be indebted to you for the rest of my life. You won't have to pay me.
Deal.
Wow.
That was
Fast.
Ray! If I may
here for
call
it.
you Ray, I have
Ray?
said it before. You are.
Backwards.
His heart grew 3 sizes that day.
It was so fast.
It's hard. 0 times 3 is still 0.
Dungeon Master, was the carriage ride a short rest? I need to know now.
responded.
Yes, it was a short rest. Correct.
Oh, okay, we're ready for battle, baby.
Oh, it's a short rest. Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
you guys
God.
were otherwise
Just
unoccupied
fucking
for an
say it,
hour. Yeah.
dog.
Yes, dude. I'm loving these spell slots I'm getting back here. Ooh.
What's that like?
It's fucking amazing.
Actually, I gotta double check my inscriptor shit, but
My God. Anyway.
You're ridiculous, Ephraim.
Are you guys do you guys plan to move on, or is there going to be
No, I think
we moving? We schmoving? Okay.
Yeah,
I
we
think
should move
we'll,
it. We'll
so
continue on our course to go
Yeah.
to the
So
delivered.
what was the place we were going to then? Were we gonna go straight to drop off the stuff, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the consensus was the Silken Veil first.
I do
Yeah.
believe.
to
Oh,
get rid
okay.
of our cargo, and then we'll meet up with some
Cool.
fellows.
perhaps we could split up since there's like 3 places here that we're dropping things off.
Split the party. Ooh.
Hmm.
Oh
Just
boy.
quickly.
Oh,
Yeah, we can do that. The first stop will be the Silken Veil, which is in the Market District, so you guys won't have that far to go.
Mhm.
You well, as you go through, all of you on this cart, as you go through the city, past the guards who don't really seem to notice you because they're distracted. They're distracted by little groups of denizens who are approaching them and asking them questions. There is a state of mild panic. People are gathering objects and putting their belongings and goods and putting them in carts and leaving the city. Some people have their doors boarded up, not just boarded up, but like actually tacking up 2x4s and planks of wood to their windows. There are people in the streets praying. Zeph, you see people on their knees in lines doing traditional prayer. They are speaking in Abyssal. They are chanting. You see another group of these, parishioners every 100, 200 feet. You feel there's this gross, weighty unease throughout the entirety of the city as you press through. All of these people who are some people don't take much notice of it. They're going about their day-to-day lives, but there's a small panic. You're not sure why. You can probably guess, but it's strange. Usually this especially the Market District is rather mirthful, is cheery and full of wide wonder at the new world. But everything is clammed up. Everything is shutting down. Everything is moving slowly. And you guys arrive to the side alley of the Silken Veil Inn, that same that sign just out front. A couple people leave the inn as you approach, and a plume of smoke comes out behind them. There is a dull roar on the inside. This place seems to have remained open, despite everything. But yeah, you pull around the back, and Penelope slows to a slow trot, and then eventually will stop and punctuates it with a bit of a whinny and a chuff. As there is a small area, not necessarily like a loading dock or anything, but there's a small area with a couple of crates and boxes, and then a door into the back of the Silken Veil Inn. You have successfully, you guys have gotten here.
Would Argentum, would Argentum or I hear anything specific in Abyssal?
yeah.
Sure. Roll a perception check.
You got it, buddy. You were.
Both of you can if
asked
you'd like.
exactly what I was thinking, dude.
Mhm. What's going on here?
Perception.
Did I miss like All Hallows Eve or what's some festival?
13 and 11. Okay. Between the two of you, you're getting they're asking because there's a din, right? There's still a cacophony of people speaking in common and undercommon and different dialects from the north and the south, and it's kind of hard to parse out exactly what they're saying, but they're pleading for protection in some way. And it's not just the words that get you, Zeph. It's their motions. It's how they are going about using their hands and where they're positioning themselves, kneeling on the ground in the mud. Like this is they are splaying themselves before their god for pity and protection.
What do you make of it, Zephyriel?
The DM, hold on. The DM said that we could guess. I'm trying to guess mentally about what it was.
Oh, we guess. I'm guessing.
Ah, could
Does
I?
it matter to us?
Is there a roll I could make to ascertain what has caused this?
Make an insight check. I would make it a religion check, but you're not quite sure of the specifics, so just make an insight check.
Sure.
Sheet.
Holy sheet.
Nice.
14. Yeah.
Slightly better. So with the 14 insight, this, from the way everybody's moving their body and this is a prayer. This is a traditional prayer. You know, it's like a psalm or something like that. This is a traditional prayer that one would, they're asking for a safe return of a warrior from battle, to be a little bit specific. Or, you know, not to be harmed by an incoming army or something to that effect.
Maybe they have been warned about the Triders. Or they have heard about the tournament. I don't know. Or, word spread about Veyron's appearance on the tower.
That's a lot of ores.
It could be a lot of things.
Judging from the few words I picked up as well, I'd say that is really the best we can ascertain at this moment.
Well,
Prayer
I
can
mean-
mean many
yeah.
things, right? I'm not particularly religious myself, but even traditional prayers that have been said over and over, it can mean something different to each person, right?
I wouldn't know, because I don't pray.
Oh, really?
Really?
I'm not judging, I'm just surprised. You are the Reformed Church one. But alright. I'm very curious.
It doesn't really, get in the way of what we're doing, right? We still gotta hustle, no?
We got to
Yeah,
do
we
what
do.
we have to do.
Yes,
Kelly
let's
jumps
answer their
down and-
prayers.
Gets the unties the tarp from the back of the trade goods and at the same time, out of the, like, you hear a and out of the door comes that shade, the waiter's shade, that was waiting on you guys on the tables on the inside of the Silken Veil while you guys were actually patronizing it. He comes out and he has in his hand kitchen refuse and garden waste and things like that, and he catches your attention and you, and you just hear. So he turns around and walks back inside. He turns around and hovers back inside.
I assume he is retrieving the priestess.
I would assume so too. So, I mean, are we waiting? Are we busting it in?
He didn't close the door.
Are we following?
We should probably follow. Time is of the essence.
Yeah, Wall's
Kelly
gonna
nods.
like grab one of the boxes, I guess, of the
Of the flowers itself?
of the flowers. Yeah.
Okay, Kelly goes,
Start
be
bringing it in.
careful.
I am always careful.
True.
Yeah, yeah. Kelly grabs another box and heads behind you slowly as you guys enter the Silken Vale. There's only 2 boxes.
Nice.
It doesn't seem like there's hundreds and hundreds of these flowers. The majority of the other stuff in there is the books that you were requested to grab, the Drider silk that Ryla had asked for you to get as well, and then other sundries that you guys were able to bring for yourselves, like gold and like the candlesticks and things like that, just random stuff. Well, you're entering first, and as you go in, there's a small little mud room here, for to shed boots and
For your mud.
raincoats and things like that. And then you enter to your left. There's another door that opens into the actual tavern proper, and it's just as you guys remember it. It is a just in the shadowy corner of this city. There is this opulent, dark stone wrought building with furnishings of dark wood with silver accents. There's cushions on the ground. There's draperies. It's the sound in here is nice and dull, so it's like this homey, cozy, hazy, smoky bar, almost like something you'd see in like Morocco or in it smacks of like a hookah bar. But it's quite relaxing, and just the perfume, the smells of incense and burning resins, and you can almost taste this like thick, oily smoke in the air. It's very pleasant as you guys walk in. And sure enough, Priestess Zyra is behind the bar, speaking to a patron, as the shade walks away from her, and her eyes meet yours. Wall. She nods.
Wall nods back. And then he'll like look around and be like, "Hey, where do we put this?"
She comes to your end of the bar and says, "Right here is fine," and gestures to this nice dark oak bar that is striking in the center of this establishment.
Wall will put the box gently down where she indicated.
Okay. Kelly behind you does the same. And do the rest of you guys enter the Silken Vale?
Yeah, Argentum would have entered, but they are kind of sticking to the back of the group, looking like a little bit fidgety. Like they're playing with their fingers a little bit, just looking like awkward.
Okay. Sarah goes, Where is Argentum?
Argentum, they are, and like Wall's like looking behind him, like trying to actually find them. Oh, they're right over there in the back of the group.
It's a pleasure
Hello
to see you again.
You as well.
I take it these. And she has this really strange, like, this angelic way of moving. It's almost, it feels inhuman. It's this weird, stilted, like, almost, it feels like stop motion almost way of moving. She said, I take it that these are our, and she opens it up and inhales deeply. Good work. She
Only the
closes it up,
best.
stacks the 2 boxes on each other. It's just like they're boxed almost like you would see very fine cigars boxed. There's like, there's slots for each individual flower. It's the entire flower that has been dried through some magical alchemical process. Had the moisture removed from it. And there looks to be about maybe 24 of these flowers themselves. And
Damn.
she looks around. She nods to the shade that comes back from behind the Batwing doors. And the shade nods himself very deeply and begins tending bar. While Zyra takes these boxes, takes one of the keys to one of those rooms that you guys have stayed in from the back of like the hooks, and she says, "Follow me." She walks up the stairs.
Do I smell any ham?
Smell any ham? Yeah, sure. Make a perception check.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Taking this at face value. 15.
Okay, that's a pretty solid roll. Oh yeah. There's ham in here.
In the room we're going into?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Is the ham in the room with us right now?
The ham's coming from inside the room.
The ham is coming from inside the silken veil. Yeah, it does smell a little meaty, but you're not sure whether or not that's a cured ham or just a particular brand of incense that Lady Zyra likes to burn.
Weird.
Ham-scented candle.
Yeah,
There's
there's
baking
bacon
soda
candles and
out there.
stuff. Yeah,
there's
bacon everything.
candle, bacon everything. So you know, it's not too far fetched. Oh my god, I'm gonna murder.
I totally forget how we started calling her Ham Lady.
My bad.
Because, well, first off, it was Phoenix, and it's because our gentleman Zyra did the deed, and then our gentleman came downstairs, and then the shade came by. It was like compliments of the house. Yes, I remember all this. Leave me alone. So
And it was ham.
Well,
and it was like
wouldn't have
ham
gone
and
this way if you didn't
eggs.
lie to me.
I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you the whole truth. I said I was sampling the local cuisine. I just didn't say which one.
Sampling the local cuisine, that being Zyra.
Yeah, baby. Anyway.
Zyra's like a baked good. Oh.
She
Cream
certainly
filled.
is.
Anyway.
Oh God.
Oh,
It's like a
Jesus.
Boston cream donut. Hell yeah, bro.
Hell.
Holy
What the
Hell
fuck?
yeah.
This is your party, chat. This is your party. That's my streamer. That's my party.
Yes, streamer.
this is your party, fandom of Welde.
This is your party, fandom.
I didn't do anything. I slept with
FOW.
a girl.
Okay, so Lady Zyra starts her way up the set of stairs. Lady Zyra moves gracefully up this set of stairs. Her gossamer gown drags against the very fine polished wood floors. Up one floor and then a second, and then you guys do certainly remember there's a hallway with several rooms, and then down at the end there are three more higher class or higher end rooms. And she goes to the one to the far left. She takes out the key, inserts it. There's some clockwork mechanisms that go on to unlock the door itself, and it opens up. And on the inside this is the my notes say this is the Arachnid's Embrace room. So there is spider imagery everywhere on the inside. The walls have silver tapestries with very beautiful, honestly, spider species, like scientifically drawn out. The bed itself is very nice. It's covered in silk sheets. There's a chandelier in the center of the room. It definitely, this room is very maximalist. Like there's a lot of stuff in here, and with a lot of different patterns and inlays and woods and filigrees and et cetera, et cetera. But she doesn't bother with anything here. She beelines with haste as soon as the room starts to open towards the bathroom. And hey, Zeph, remember that tub you were sleeping in?
How could I forget? That's the most comfortable sleep I've had since we started the campaign.
Baby on a rock.
Slept like a baby on a rock.
Yeah.
Baby on a rock. Well, she goes over to that tub itself. This black marble tub with faucets that are shaped like spider mandibles. And she turns one of the eyes of the spider that is making up the legs that kind of curl around the basin itself of this bathtub, and water, very hot water, starts to fill the tub itself. And as you guys look into the tub, it's very nice. Like the tub is black, right? But you look in, it almost looks like the water itself is black. But she turns around and holds these boxes and waits. It won't be more than a few minutes.
Are you a witch?
This is the cauldron.
I am what you are.
I didn't gulp. Like not even intentionally, full cartoonishly gulped. I wish it picked up. It's so loud.
No, I heard it. I
Oh,
heard it, buddy.
It's great. A+ #1 SSS. So she looks at you and smiles and notices your hesitance. And this water is slowly filling up. There's big plumes of steam behind it. The windows that are a little bit tinted are starting to fog up, and she's paying it no mind. And she looks at you and tilts her head and says, "We have much to discuss."
Is she talking to me?
I don't know, but
I do believe so, darling.
oh, you're
Pretty
next.
sure they are.
We do? Question mark.
Yes.
Question.
I apologize for not seeing through the guise. But as a spy myself, I have to remain hidden only a little. And then she starts addressing the group as a whole.
You're both spies? Sorry.
You really did not put that together.
I am Baron Edo's first member of the Ivbranken Reformed Church of Lolth. Its founding member. My duties were to be kept secret from every sect. And you feel many eyes, even though she only has 2. Many eyes look at you, Zeph. So, I am what you are. And we share a common goal, Zeph. I felt your presence, but I had to see how you would react to several things before I made myself known to you. Be safe, be quick, be good. And you all notice the water just meniscus the top of this basin before you hear and all of the water drains out of the tub, and you see a set of stairs descend down into the bathtub itself. Come along.
Huh.
And she lifts her dress up, steps 1 step into the tub, 2nd step, and you hear heels click down into the darkness before you see purple light start to fill the stairway.
Well, she never ceases to be fascinating. That's for one thing.
I have no idea what the fuck she's talking about.
I'm sure you think you don't.
That's crazy.
Do you need assistance getting down the stairs, Ephraim?
No.
Okay, goodness, I was.
Apologies for trying to be kind, but all right, back to your old tricks, I see.
I'll go down the steps.
Okay, cool. So I am guessing you all follow,
Yeah.
including Kelly. Kelly takes up the back as you guys descend down. The top of the bathtub doesn't like retract or anything like that. It stays open. As you guys descend down
Sorry.
deep. Yeah.
I was gonna ask actually about that. Like, do we need to close this or are we good?
She at this point she's pretty far out of like earshot. She's down. She's about 100, 200 feet away. You'd have to like shout if you wanted to hear.
No, I'll just talk to the group.
My lady,
Yes.
apologies for raising my voice. Do we need to close this behind us?
I have locked the door already. It is okay. Come.
All right. On our way.
And it's a spiral
My feeling exactly. It's crazy.
all the way down. And it takes about 15 or so minutes, 20 minutes for you to actually get down. And as you go, these sconces on the side of this pillar, like to your right, there's this pillar that descends all the way down, light up this purple light. And as you get further down, you notice that the masonry begins to change and go from like standard mason block to like this loamy, rocky soil to like roots. And then the stairs themselves begin to start to become hewn into the rock themselves rather than being mason, or rather than being like stone that has been carved. And after that 10 or so minutes, you all enter let me see the notes here, a 25 by 15 stone wrought room. So this is a room that has been carved into the earth with these purple sconces on either side. And this smacks of Kelly's little bat cave, but instead of like roguish materials scattered around, daggers and dummies and little alchemical experiments and things like that, there is a lot more magic going on here. There is a lot more eldritch chiming going on. There's a lot more. There are. Let me get my notes. Hold on. There are idols to Lolth, but not just Lolth, but ROI. There are idols to Ilmater. There are idols to Elistray and Veyroun. They all, obviously Ilmater's idol is there's a candlestick and there's two hands together bound by a red rope cord. Illustray's is just a single blade that ascends from a stone plinth with that the nude dancing woman on the center. It looks exactly like your sword wall. The ROI's is a sickle with wheat kind of crossed together. And Lolth's itself is just a spider that's kind of like erected into an elongated shape. There are rugs here. It looks like Zyra has been absconding with some church funds in order to furnish this place. It's rather nice. It's quite plush, just like the rooms above. It's very well put together, and not only that, but there are bits of what appear to be what was a temple near the end of this place, much like how Kelly's had a bit of a temple. It looks like you guys have descended through time almost to an older Ivbranca, an Ivbranca that is more old Lolth centric. It is more, it feels a little darker, a little more grim, a little more Underdark influenced. And she takes these two boxes of duskflower and puts them over on a table next to a tapestry, and unbuckles them once more and takes a good long look at this and says, "Yes, this is more than enough."
More than enough for what?
We can not only stop, but I feel we can reverse the effects that Veyroun has put our citizens under.
Is that what is happening in the streets?
That is what is happening under the streets, my friend.
He speaks of the Riders.
No.
Yes.
I understand that, but the way people were praying in the streets, I was unsure if it was all connected.
You haven't heard.
We have been...
Getting these.
Yes. Retrieving the...
Of course. Well, allow me to inform you. Tirael has made the difficult decision to wean our citizens on the information that we may be under attack. They do not know of the specifics. They have just been let to know that there may be danger coming. Many of them fear it's from the Corsairs to the north. Some fear it's the wild men to the south. Others think it comes from within. The church beginning to fracture. Assassins in the streets. But the reality of it is far more than I fear they are able to handle. Tyrael is a good leader. Being careful with information is paramount when you have power such as his.
Did you say that she founded the Reformed Church?
She's the founding member of the Eve Bronkin branch of the Reformed Church,
Gotcha.
but she's been told to keep everything secret.
Yes.
So they don't know what it is, but it's this.
Yes. They've been told something's coming, but there is no specifics.
Okay,
No specifics.
I see.
It will take me several hours to finish our aerosolization. She begins to take lambics and like mortars and pestles and distillers and like some weird retrofitted centrifuges and like hand-powered cranks and things like that. Lots of chemist equipment out on this table, and she begins working with it. She very gingerly pries the bulbs from the stalks themselves, puts them in the pestle, grinds them up, says words over them, begins casting some strange magics, not necessarily even a spell itself, but just imparting energy into not just the dusk flower, but the other ingredients that she needs. There is strange liquids that she's been pouring into vials and vessels, and she's hard at work, but she still seems to have the wherewithal to converse with you guys while she is, focusing pretty hard on this.
What would her title be?
Hers.
Her title is she's just Priestess Zyra right now.
Yeah, DM, just so I have it clear, this is the same Zyra that I saw in my dream, right?
Let me check your notes because I have these. So
Man.
I made the common DM mistake of naming characters similar names.
Okay.
I feel you.
I think that's correct, but let me double check because I have the list of all of those. Okay, so Zyra, Lady Zyra, the one you're with right now, is XYRRA.
Okay.
Zyra Mooneye, who was in your flash or your vision,
was Z a whatever?
Yeah, ZYRA. So League of Legends.
I figured that was the case, but I just wanted to double check because we were. Yeah,
I also have a table that I roll on, and sometimes I forget that I roll on the same table for some names. Sometimes I have to just change the spelling. Sometimes also we have overlap. We have hit the point where this campaign has kind of split from the campaign that I ran in this location previously with similar characters. So if I fuck up, if it gets a little fudgy, I apologize. Just because there's a lot to keep track of and there's a lot of notes that I have to suss through. But
as long as we never see them in the same room.
Yeah.
I actually doubt you will see these two people in the same room.
Zeph and Zeph meet each other. It's
Yeah, when Zeph and Zeph meet each other, it's over.
I'll be so shocked if there's a second Zeph Royale in the campaign.
There's gonna be a Jeff.
Jeff Rael.
Jeff Rael.
Jeff blue hair.
Jeff for sure.
Can I just say, it's so
Scars and
funny.
Celestial.
It's so funny this whole time, Grizz is just trying to ego, he's like, so what's her rank? Do I outrank her? Am I better than her?
Actually, not what I was trying to do. Thank you. If you let me continue.
Okay, I'm gonna take 30 seconds and go to the bathroom. So talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Me too.
Oh my goodness.
It's so funny,
Long
dude.
live Jeff Rael. Jesus.
Jeff Rael.
In Jeff Rael, we stand.
The difference is exactly what Alpha said. Their tattoos are in Celestial, and they're not blind.
They can't hear me.
And they're
say
super
spam ham.
jacked.
Spam
Super
ham.
jacked.
What's a good Alpha male name. I don't know how else to
Steve.
put it.
Well,
No, Steve.
keep chat.
Steve Rael. I don't know if that one.
Steve Ryan.
Steve Ryan.
Brad Rael.
Brad Ryan.
Oh, Brad
Chad,
Rael.
no, wait.
Good.
No, it's Chad Ryle.
Chad
Yeah,
Rael.
there you go.
Cody.
That's what I was looking for. That name, Chad Rael.
Chad Ryan.
I got
Brett
you,
Rael.
Lee.
Oh,
Where's his dad
Brett
face?
Ryan.
Riz.
Brett Rael.
Oh,
Jack
God.
Rael.
My name is Jeff.
Rael.
Hamrael? Can we?
Amrael. Yeah, Amrael.
Oh fuck. Okay. All right.
This is
So
your fault, Luigi.
Lady Zyra's
Lady
hard at
Hamra.
work. Kelly is sitting in one of the chairs, biding his time. He looks like he's deep in thought, but like focusing on something on the ground. Nothing in particular. He's just kind of staring. Lester is on his shoulder. And what are you guys doing?
Priestess. Oh no, you go first.
I mean, no, I feel like what I would say would like cause a loading screen to happen. So you say
Oh, no, you go first. Yeah, I'll be quick. Priestess,
Yes.
you said you were watching me react to things. What things were those? You didn't happen to send people to stab me, did you?
Of course not. As a matter of fact, I tried to help. I forced them to the rooftops. But the rest was... I leave, and she kind of like side eyes Sunder behind her. A bit messy.
Sunder's gonna put his hands up. He's like, it happens.
And your goal is to reverse the effects of the Drider transformation.
That is the goal. Whether or not this is capable of that is entirely dependent on how well we administer it. How far we spread it. How much they manage to inhale.
Would they not just return to Veyron's followers or the cultists that they were?
They may. And if that is the case, we must purge them. But if they have some semblance of themselves left, we can put them through a series of questions. We can send them to... She stops. Almost as though she doesn't think this is going to work, but she has an overwhelming amount of hope. I can make no promises. As learned as I am in these alchemical matters, accuracy, precision, that, especially in this process, is unknowable. There are too many variables, and she says this as she's like quickly crushing things up and aerating them, and she's got this like weird stick fork that she's like whipping up liquid with, and she says, with Lolth spread to the many planes, and Veyron imparting what little power he can into this, even that small amount of power is overwhelming in my presence. I may need your help, Zeph.
Specifically with returning them? Or with after?
If you can offer me any magical aid, I'm sure those Driders, when they come back too, would be very grateful. I'm sure that if we were to teach them of the Reformed Church, they may change their ways. This. And she looks at you, and for the first time in her presence, It's almost as though you can see her eyes through the inky blackness that you have. This may be why you were sent here. We can fix them, Zeph.
I didn't think it was possible to reverse a transformation. But
Kelly pipes up. I didn't think it was possible to hurt a god. But he did. And if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Walt puffs out his chest as he says that.
Seconded.
persuading those to walk the reformed path is my specialty. And if it builds a bigger army against Faerun, I'd be happy to try.
She's paused her work. She smiles wide, nods her head, and then goes back to work even more fervently.
I do expect some may want to put up a fight.
Yes. Yes, that goes without saying, but
Can
a purge
imagine.
may be needed if we are faced against impossible odds. But I believe we can.
Well, pleasure to meet you. Argentum has told us all about you and your ham.
My God, I hate you! I hate you so much. I need you to
why I-
remember in this moment.
Yeah,
You-
Argentum told me you were.
Oh my God! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
She
Shut up!
blanches. Argentum, what have you told them?
I told them that the food that was given to us in the morning
At 4
was
a.m.
on the house. Was on the house. Shut up. They know very little. They've put some pieces together. They are aware of our tryst. But that is it. And I appreciate your offering us breakfast the next morning.
They look like
I-
they are crawling into themselves and they wish to die.
Are
Are we still mind linked?
No, we would not be at this point. It's definitely been more than an hour.
Okay.
That's just sending vibes. It's not going through.
I can feel the vibes.
Well-
What I wouldn't give to see.
Ham aside, and like for the first time, like Zyra had this ethereal regalness to her, this like nobility of an entity that doesn't doesn't exist on this plane, right?
Sure.
But she's cracked a little bit. She's a little flustered. She begins to like blush a little bit after her skin has gone a wider shade of pale. And she shakes it off and says, she goes back to crushing the thorns now that were on the flowers themselves. She's crushing them up into some powder, and she says, "Regardless, we will have help in distributing this. Varric Tinwhistle of the Riders of Koff has gone for an audience with Tyrael."
Really?
Yes,
Derek's on your team, huh?
Oh my God.
Varric. Who else is there? Hold on. There's 3 people. The remaining members of the council also will be helping us in the Undercroft spread this. And not only that, we have a... She smiles a little bit. We have a celestial envoy.
Come again?
Yeah, come
A
again.
knight. A knight from the upper planes has come to assist us.
Really?
Yes. some of the ROI monastery have beseeched the heavens, and our Vander has answered.
Would it be, a tactless or, inappropriate to ask like a name, or do they have names?
Let me make sure. Actually, I gotta check his name quickly. I know the first name, but I gotta get his last name. Or his title.
That's they're serious. They come with titles.
They do, yeah.
No bottom feeders here.
Just a second. Oh, fucking! I'm. Remember what I was talking about, Hayden? Clicking through the tabs. Here it is.
This is just like the DM's
Control
nightmare.
F.
Could I possibly
Okay.
use the restroom quickly? I'm gonna.
Yeah, go ahead. You got time. I don't.
No, you have to hold it.
Oh no, this is like real gods. That's not what I want. Hold on.
No, you should go.
You should go.
Oh, that's going
That
on.
is so much more
I should go.
ominous than than I meant for it to.
Goodness.
Okay. Just wait for Chris to get back.
Yeah.
We love bathrooms.
Dude.
Washrooms.
I
So
mean,
true,
we
Oomphy.
had
We love-
to.
I was gonna say, Lesta, if anyone out here, like Grizz, needs to be denied the bathroom the least.
Real, actually.
Yeah, for real. Again, the
Less
whole
disaster
time
strike.
everyone is conversing, Argentum is glaring, and everyone like, bro, please.
I feel like with all that conversation, Sunder's kind of just like standing there, like putting pieces together, because he doesn't know shit. Like this whole thing is like you saying that everybody put their pieces together. Sunder didn't. He's trying to figure things out in that moment as to what's going on and what the fuck you two are doing. He's just like, what? I'm so confused. Like,
Staring him down like,
what do you mean
Oh.
ham?
Yeah. Math lady gift.
What do you mean? What do you mean ham?
What do
Ham.
you mean ham? What do you ham at 4 a.m.? What are you talking about?
You needn't worry about it.
Sure, there's a lot of taste in it.
Oh shit! Hold on.
What I do with my time is none of your business.
We'll figure this out one way or another.
I'd rather you didn't.
We'll figure this out.
Confused and Scottish is crazy. God damn it.
If you had a chance to figure this out, would you?
Distorted bagpipe sounds. Oh, fuck.
There we go. Okay, sweet. Oh,
I played bagpipes at my sister-in-law's graduation. I was like,
whoa, cool.
As they
No.
should.
We love bagpipes.
We do.
we stand bagpipes.
I went to a park and there was like a guy, like bagpipes, like kilt full gear. And I was like, what's going on? It's like a festival. Turns out it was not a festival. Turns out it was a funeral. I was like into it, and then I saw the sign. It was like in memory. Oh my gosh, shit.
You're like, ah, fuck.
This laser just casually crashed the funeral and didn't realize, like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck. My bad.
Well, I thought it was like, you did it for like a party or whatever, but
party trick?
That was
Big
incorrect.
trick.
They get all dressed up and blow into a sheep's stomach. Yeah. Yeah. It's a
Wait,
real
does anybody
party.
have the Scotland Forever soundboard?
I
Scotland!
do somewhere.
Whatever! Free bird! Oh my god, it's one of my
man.
favorite
Yeah,
videos.
that's my favorite.
Yeah, the shit said like, I was like, there was a sign at the front of the park. It said like, it was like celebration of life, and I was like, oh, that's like a, some
Oh,
kind of
buddy.
Uh-oh.
I'm like,
Uh-oh.
okay, party, you know, like celebrating life, coming of age.
Go
And
party.
then I pull out the phone, I'm like, celebration of life. It's like Scottish funeral. I'm like, ah, shit. In bold letters, Google, like, shaming me.
That's.
Scottish funeral. I want that on a t-shirt.
I want.
Dude, it's my favorite
it's like-
black metal band.
What Scottish funeral?
Scottish funeral, yeah.
Yeah,
Leak.
wake up call. Oh, dude, how am I supposed to know, dude? There was no, like, funeral word mentioned.
Oh, can't fucking breathe. Oh god.
Okay,
Oh,
I have the
don't
name.
do
We're good.
cool.
Did Grizz fall in? Yeah, Grizz fell in. That's
You
for
fell
sure.
in, man.
We'll never find
I
them.
found
You
it.
guys can ask questions as well if you would like.
Yeah.
This is open season on Zyra for information if you should you need it or have anything you want to trade or exchange or talk about.
Argentum will stand next to her and like say almost like under their breath quiet enough for her to hear.
I do apologize. It was not my intention for them to find out anything.
It's okay. Sometimes word gets around.
I promise I am not going around telling everyone.
It's okay as long as you don't go around telling everyone what we're saying down here. Everything should be fine.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Sunder's gonna pipe up real quick. Wait a minute! Did you guys fuck?
And see.
Zyra immediately
Damn.
stops everything she's doing and just stares at the wall. Not that wall, the wall in front of her.
Turns directly towards the big
Wait
Goliath.
a
guy.
minute!
Oh my god.
Argentum will take off their glasses and just pinch the bridge of their nose and their face. Normally, they have a very, like, they're, lots of decorum. They're very put together. Argentum has completely cracked, much like Zyra earlier, is pale and blushing, and
Hold
he's
on.
like,
I'm gonna make a roll here.
I'm gonna put my, Phoenix will put his arm around Sunder and just like lean on over and say, they did say they were tasting the cuisine.
Argentum, you feel something
That makes more
apparate
sense now.
in your palm. You feel something just
God.
appear in one of your palms that is facing away from the rest of the party.
they'll look at it.
I'm gonna DM you what this is because you know what it is, but I don't want to say it out loud.
Oh,
It's actually a bead of fireball, and then you throw it, and then everyone dies.
Throws it right at Sunder. Bitch!
you think they wouldn't?
Deck save right now, otherwise.
I didn't
die.
ask how big the room was. I said cast fireball.
I said die, Sunder, is what I fucking said.
Fucking pulls to me, gives me the bird burn. Hellish rebukes the tiefling. Fine.
Again, you think I fucking wouldn't?
This is the end of episode W.
Me when I get
Okay.
you.
It's the
When-
that,
Fine.
that
Wheels turned and then they just
motion or whatever,
Grizz comes back and the campaign is over.
So sorry about that. What?
It's all good. We were talking about
The campaign's gone.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So Zyra
Miss
turns to
Sunder
you,
came
Zeph,
to a
and says,
realization.
Celestial Envoy, Deva Starshatter.
What?
Mm,
A Deva!
yes, a Deva.
Who's
Great
this doing?
powers. It's good to know that the gods haven't all abandoned us.
So this is like a big shot.
What's a diva?
I don't know.
Uh,
Impressed?
well, actually, all of you guys, if you want to see if you know what this is, please roll a religion check.
I would love to.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. I
I
feel like
would
you might, but
also,
just roll a check just to see how much you know. You know.
I love rolling.
Wall don't
got a
care.
9.
Religion, huh?
Religion.
A 9,
Dog at these.
15. From
Better
religion.
than I am.
Plus 0. I mean, like
18.
18. Fucking A.
Alright.
Juzo, you know that there is a hierarchy of celestials. You know that there are angels. You know that there are devas and empyreans and planetars and a bunch of, there's a hierarchy. You're not sure where this one fits, but you know it's one of them. It's a rank, less a name, more a rank.
Gotcha.
Leju, you know that this rank is a pretty high up rank in the hierarchy of the celestials.
okay.
This is like, these are the envoys that the gods, the celestial gods, send down in like a humanoid form to hash things out with mortals when they don't have time or the wherewithal to like attend dreams or impart visions or any sort of like natural phenomenon or oh, my crops are doing well this year, ROI is happy, right? So these are like people that actually, these entities come to humans or anybody on the material plane and says, hey, this is what the god wants. Cool, awesome.
Cool.
Zeph, you know that they always appear on the material plane as a human or humanoids. They are the embodiment of, I will present myself to you in a way that will not scare you. Be not afraid kind of thing. There are 3 different kinds of devas. There are astral devas, monadic devas, and movanic devas. That's all you get from that. They operate in like, squads. So there is like a deva, and then there's like 3 or 4 other like deva knights that follow them around. They usually almost always come with a mission. They have a mission and they're going to carry it out. It is very difficult to convince a deva to do anything other than what it was set out to do. It's very kind of like remember how we were talking about Modrons, where it's just like the Modron does one thing and that's all it does. But this one is like backed up by a moral goal, right? This particular deva is from Arvandor, which is one of the higher planes in the celestial planes. And the thing that really strikes you is this name, the specific name of this deva, Star Shatter. This is somebody that could be related to somebody that you know. You've heard that name several times in your life. You've interacted with people of that name several times in your life, and it's just kind of, it flashes in the back of your head. You don't really like have that memory, right? But something in your brain, in deep down in your religious gut, you feel it. This is somebody that you know, or is at least related to somebody that you know. You also know that devas themselves are incredibly powerful. They aren't quite gods, and they're able to be killed. But it's like, it's like sending they're a tank. They come in. It's like the god said, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll send a tank in and see what happens, right? If that tank dies, then we got to have a little bit more devotion to exactly what's going on there. But this is my first wave. This is my shock troop. Let's see what happens. So yeah, that's what you got with an 18. It's a solid fucking roll.
How do you spell Deva?
DEVA.
Okay.
Wow. Damn.
Priestess, who beseech the heavens? And how?
The followers of the recently destroyed ROI Monastery, to the south, overlooking the North Sea. The earthquakes ravaged their temple. The god was kind to them, brought them food.
Huh. And this Deva will help us with what? With fighting the hopefully non-driders that returned?
From what little I've managed to gather from Tyrael, we don't. He's not my best friend. We don't talk constantly, but from what I've managed to gather, this Deva will take care of any driders that leak.
Or ones we don't save.
I want to save them all, Zeph. That's my goal.
Yes, of course.
I hope that Deva never even has to draw its sword.
Is anyone here familiar with this, you said it was destroyed, this monastery?
Almost. It's still operable, still able to hold worship, but the ROI monastery and the monks therein are quite sheltered. Most of what they have done is bless the fields, which is why we continue to grow through the winter season.
Yeah, I've
No
got
more-
nothing. Never heard of it.
Do I know about the monastery, DM?
There we go. Roll a
We love lore.
roll a
Give
history
it.
check.
Yeah.
Roll a history check.
I was gonna say, I'm like, would I
History,
know
gotcha.
anything? Would I have passed through that area at all?
You can roll a history check too.
Me
Show us.
lie.
Me.
I thought
14.
somebody typing lore in chat was the roll because it happened at the same time the sound
Oh,
effect.
I
And I was just like, what?
accidentally, I accidentally double clicked, so it would be the 16.
All right, a 16 and Juicy got a 14. Okay, Hayden with a 16, you know the name ROI. We've mentioned it several times, but this god is the god of like a good harvest, god of wheat, the god of let me see exactly. Yeah, it's a feminine god normally portrayed as a half elf. It is a god revered by rangers and natural mages, druids, farmers, sailors, and fishermen, tradesmen. Honestly, any trade that has to do with gathering resources, they normally pray to ROI. And there is, when you were coming in to the south, there was a large bluff that kind of overlooked the North Sea and a fairly small monastery, all things considered. Maybe you would imagine about 20 to 30 monks living and tending around this monastery. But yeah, that's what you would know. You don't really know anything specifically about the monastery itself, but you do know. Actually, with an 18, you would know this. Hey, can we go into whispers, please? Thank you.
My goodness.
And guess what? Juzo gets to come with.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Damn it! Damn it!
So
Should the stream hear whispers? I don't know.
I think it's cool if, yeah.
chat, what do you think is happening in Whispers? Vote now on your phones.
Oh
Text
man.
1-800 Shadows over Welde with your thoughts, and you might win a car.
You might win nothing.
So ham.
They're back.
Just innocent men.
Just innocent men.
Just innocent men.
Just innocent men.
But yeah, that's what you guys learn with your religion checks. That's what you would know off the top of your head as well. So yeah, you may have just been piecing those two things together, but
Good for you guys.
Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Zyra is also hard at work. It seems like, based on how she's becoming a little bit more hands-off with her work and letting things distill, that she may be almost done with the first phase of all of this.
so can I ask real quick? Like, this is gonna take a little while, right?
I have about 2 more hours of work, I would imagine, depending on how the sublimate distills
quite against the crystalline structure that it has built. It's more math than I thought was going to be involved. I still have to.
And she's mumbling to herself about all of this stuff.
I mean, you know, I don't mean to be rude, but math or not, do we all need to be standing here as well, or is
No,
it better if we?
Of course not.
Perhaps we can go and take care of Sunder's business while we wait for this.
Yeah,
Do we
those
have
are
enough
books.
time for that? I think we have, well, other deliveries to make, in a sense, but I do not
They're
know
all
how
within
long
this
that will
district,
take.
no?
Everything is within the market district, yes.
All right, well, pack it up in an hour and then take care of the other thing within a few minutes.
We will need you tomorrow morning. The inception of the Driders breach would be tomorrow night at roughly 9 p.m. We'd have to be into the tunnels and deep within Old Lothlorian and Old Branca before then.
Right.
And if I do recall, Tyrael wanted an audience with you before then. If that's possible, I'm sure he would be very grateful for the knowledge, that any knowledge you have of what may happen.
I believe that to be possible.
So get busy tonight and then rendezvous here tomorrow.
Yes,
Should
of
we-
course.
Would it be, for sake of all staying together, would it be possible to rent a few rooms and just stay here for the night?
Argentum, you can stay here as long as you like.
Just Argentum.
Here.
I'm assuming we're paying.
She fishes into her pocket and pulls out the key to the room that has this entrance in it.
As a matter of fact, if you stay here, it gives me plausible deniability. Sleep above. I'll continue work down here and sleep on my cot. It's quite cozy.
Sure.
She
After all
hands
that,
you
you're gonna-
specifically the key, Argentum. Again, it's this little almost like petrified wood obelisk tiny thing. It almost looks like a keychain. That's the key.
Certainly. Believe that can be arranged.
After all that, you're gonna be in separate beds.
Oh my god, please. Perish.
Then perish.
I'm not
Yes.
gonna judge.
Zephyriah?
So no one knows anything about this monastery.
Well,
Yeah.
I
not a clue.
I do not know much. There are maybe 20 to 30 monks who live and work in the area. That is really all I know. I saw it on my way in.
It's not important. I was just curious.
Hmm.
Should we get into a squabble, Sunder? I would have you know I am operating at half energy still. But if they are in small numbers,
Well,
I'm sure it will be fine.
there are 3 of them. Last time
3 of
Bowman
them.
mentioned there are 3.
Do they make
They,
friends?
No, not quite. There have always been 3 of them in regards to who was after me. I'm still trying to piece together what exactly they're doing here, because where they come from is miles and miles away from Ivbronka. So I'm just confused as to what they're doing here. I don't know if they're here to start a fight. I don't know if they're here to make peace. I highly doubt it with those 3. But
I mean, judging from their first course of action, I don't think peace is their first, on to the top of their list.
definitely not.
Yeah, they roughed up Loman pretty good.
They did.
Well, I
Oh.
suppose deliveries first, right? And then they're still hung up at the guard station or whatever it is?
They're at the guard station is what Loman said, and from where we are right now, the guard station's not too far away, I would imagine.
Hmm.
If we can make our delivery before then, all should work out.
Well, Kelly stands up and he says, I'm going to go ahead down into the tunnels and set up way stations. Maybe places for us to get supplies, maybe resupply any of this aerosolization that we need. And anything else you need, Zyra, I'm here for you. I can be your boots on the ground down there. That would be incredibly invaluable, Kelly. Of course. Guys, I'm going to get on my way. We have plenty to do after we finish this. But again, I wanted to say thank you. There's no way I would have been able to handle him on my own.
Absolutely.
All right,
See you
Lester.
tomorrow,
To the cave. He walks
luck.
upstairs and Lester kind of hops behind him before catching flight halfway through the flight of stairs, and he disappears into the purple light.
Is there any reason we couldn't have the dwarves complete the deliveries? And
I
save
suppose we
time.
could.
I'm sure they'd
Um,
bring the wagon back.
Isn't
Yes.
that their job?
I believe so.
I was about to say, like, their whole thing was delivering things. So if we just told them where they needed to go, everything should be fine, no?
That also frees up our time.
Does.
Sounds good to me.
Is there a I'm sorry to bother you with such questions, my lady.
I'm here for your knowledge, whatever you need.
Is there a good place to send off a missive? I have a manuscript due. And it will take some time to get it to my publisher, so duty calls.
Yes, Webwood Post is just across the way, as a matter of fact.
Sure. Yes, I have a few things to send off. Well, if we are heading out anyway, that might be a place to go. Zephyriel, would you care to join me?
To the post office.
To the post office.
Yeah, Zeph, you gotta lead the way.
You're winking to a blind man.
Sure.
Certainly.
I
Right.
do. If we're gonna have the dwarves do the deliveries, I would have them give a letter to, not a letter, but like pass on a message to Ryla at the
Ryla?
Gossamer Arborea,
Sure,
and just
sure,
say
sure.
that the silk, if the dried silk is being delivered there, that is from us.
Okay.
So our obligations are done.
Okay, cool. So are you guys leaving the cave, or the the
Yeah.
old of Bronken
Yeah.
residence? Okay, cool. So all of you make your way up the spiral staircase. Again, it takes a little bit of time. You get to the top, out of a bathtub. It's honestly a little bit striking when you guys get to the top and you're just like, oh, we're in a bathroom. And you step out of the tub, you go downstairs and get out to the back. The shade nods to you guys as you all leave, and he's still servicing patrons. And you get out back, and Pepper Stillwell and company are sitting there, and he pipes up and says, "Hey, it's about time. You
Yeah,
coming
sort of.
with us?"
So who is? We're all here, right? Though.
Yeah, I imagine you
Yeah.
as a group.
We didn't
We're all
leave
up there.
off yet, right? Okay.
Right.
I mean, you guys are making the deliveries already, right? You're paid to do that.
Well, we got to do it by sundown at least. We're already and he looks at a fake. He looks at a watch that doesn't exist. Like 3 weeks late.
Could you deliver the items to the bookshop and to the it was Aryla was the name that you needed?
A Gossamer Emporium, big portly
Yes.
lady.
Never met her myself, but I believe that is where everything needs to go. When you deliver things to the bookshop, Let them know that Argentum sends their regards.
Sure. Of course. Do you have any proof that I come from you besides your word?
Yes. Argentum will pull out just like a scrap piece of paper from like their journal, and they'll just pen a quick note in the same color that they wrote like the autograph for the sun.
Tybalt's autograph? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So in the same color, they will write, I hope the signed copies did you some good. But I
Aw.
expect that this delivery will do you even better. And they'll sign it in the same autograph.
Okay, okay. Pepper takes it and reads it. Right. You got it. All right, lads, mount up. We've got deliveries to make. And the taller one and then the like portly one both hop up on the top with Penelope. If you guys want to take Penelope, or are you gonna? I guess it's gonna stay with the carriage because you just can't just
Yeah.
take the. So they get Penelope on, and they back out of the alley and kind of press on into the crowd. Maybe about 200, 300 feet down the way, they take a left and they are gone.
And then there were 5.
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
So we're going to the post office.
I suppose.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Literally
So-
across the way,
Going to
you
the post
see this like colonial style building, which stands out. It's very strange because all the other buildings around here are these funky little like pagoda structures that have like tiled roofs and things like that. This looks fairly European. It almost looks as though it might be a chain. And out the front there is an iron banded side that says Webwood Post. And it is on the inside there are purple curtains and this nice sweet gossamer purple curtains, and then above on the top it looks like this architecture is designed in such a way that allows for animals to come and go from the top of this post office. And you haven't seen in the 5 minutes that you've been like outside of this establishment, there have been a couple dozen people that have crossed in front of you, but nobody has entered the Webwood Post.
Well, this is the place.
Yes. I have a couple of things to
Yeah.
send off back to my publisher.
Yeah.
If you need to send anything yourselves.
No, I should be fine. I mean, do you want us to wait out here for you, or do you want us to come inside?
Either is fine. They'll pull out just a stack of papers.
God.
It's just like thick. Like this is a thick book. That
You know what? I'm good. Yeah, I'll stay out here.
Where have you found the time to write all of that?
What do you
Not that I
think
can see it, but I can definitely hear the weight.
What do you think
That
I
sounds
was?
heavy.
That sounds heavy.
I have been working on this for the last month. I finished it just the other night. I had to pen some edits, but my next novel is ready to be published.
Mm.
I think you might be sick.
How? How am I sick?
Sick in the head.
But not
I-
like with an illness.
Down with the sickness.
I created an entire career for myself. I'm sorry that adventuring or working for a church is not what I do. I'm sorry that
Wrought words into existence.
I don't even know what to say to you. What do you want from me?
For you to hurry.
Okay. They'll create another mind link with Zephyrael.
Hey, Doofy.
You fucking doofus. I believe you wanted a word. I asked for you specifically to come out because I assumed you wanted something.
Oh.
Now come inside with me. come up with an excuse. And they will enter the shop.
I have to use the bathroom.
All right.
Let's walk inside.
Okay. Sweet. So, Argentum, you go in first. When you go inside, it's fairly well lit. There, you hear the telltale feathered flapping of birds way high above you, and there are various rafters and poles and wooden dowels and things like that that span the entire upper, I guess, chamber. There's like an upper belfry that's 30, 40, 50 feet above you. And there's just, birds resting, flapping their wings, et cetera, just kind of, idly by. And there's scrolls and more manuscripts and packages and parcels that are strewn about the place. There are some in cubby holes that are marked with certain residences in a strange way that the city is laid out in a sort of foreign way. It's like kind of liking it to go into a foreign country and trying to find an address, right? You're just like, how do I read this? Where exactly is this supposed to go? But there doesn't seem to be anybody manning the counter, so to speak, at all. There doesn't seem to be anybody there or even back in the stacks.
Hello?
There's no noise, no response.
What in the nine hells?
There a washroom in here?
You hear a very faint in the back of the room.
Whoa, what?
Way
It sound like someone.
deep.
It sound like someone choking on blood or a cat having a hairball.
Sounds like a combination of all those things. Maybe even a bird thrown in there.
Okay.
Argentum's gonna
zombie.
grab Zephraiel's hand and pull him to the back. We're schmoving.
yeah, I am pulled.
Okay. As you guys take steps further into the back, you hear it a little bit more strongly.
Oh.
What in the hells?
What the fuck is that?
You see a shadow flapping the same sounds as the birds above you, but it's way deeper and way larger. Do you guys continue?
Make us invisible.
I do so. Argentum will use be still and silent. He'll use an inscription. They'll burn an inscription mark, and
As you cast that
turn
spell,
us invisible.
As you cast that spell, you hear stacks of books and shelving fall down in the back, and you just hear. It takes about 30 seconds for you guys to fully get it in view. This still feathered lump sits underneath of a window with light pouring in, dust particulates slowly starting to settle as its last breaths caw out this grown, bespectacled, poor little Kenku man is dead in front of you, holding a parcel. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Damn!
No! Who killed him?
Murder to
Who shot
both
the messenger?
Who does that? Who shoots the messenger? Honestly.
Whoever shot the messenger, damn.
Damn.
You guys were supposed to go into this room like 6 sessions ago.
Jesus Christ.
He's actually been dead. for
crazy.
8 sessions.
He's been
That's so
dying for all this time.
Yeah, he's been dying for literally a week now. I know.
If we had come 6 sessions ago, he might still be alive.
I had nothing to send off then, so I'm sorry.
we
We're
were
just
we
one
are.
session too
Yeah, why
short,
did your book
man.
take so
Oh,
long,
great.
huh?
And now 2 of our heroes are in the room with a dead bird, and nobody knows who killed him.
Well, we're invisible, so there's no
That's
proof
true,
that
there's no proof.
Hero's in the room with the dead bird.
That's the least of your worries, I think.
What the
You would-
fuck?
Yeah, man.
What
it's,
did you do, Zephyr?
Nothing. What did you do?
The plot
Fucking
thickens.
nothing.
He was 1 day from retirement.
Can't believe
I
it.
miss you.
Yeah, we didn't even meet him, and I feel so sad for him.
This
Oh,
guy
man.
ate it, man.
He was probably so funny.
Yeah, I bet he was a great NPC.
Probably so
Too
funny.
bad he's dead.
Probably
It's
so
okay.
funny.
We have to thin the herd. I can't remember everybody's names because they start sounding the same.
No. Oh my god.
What was this Kenku also a Zyra?
No, God, thank God. He had an actual real person name.
Yeah, unlike Zyra, which is
Greg.
John Kenku.
John
John
Kenku.
Jeff Koo. Oh my God.
Jeff Koo.
Jeff Kun.
Oh, no.
No, you ruined it. You made it worse somehow.
My husband has a character that is a Kenku bard that he is obsessed with, and I like to think that this is that bard. I like to think.
You like to think we just walked in on your dead husband?
No!
As a bird in a video game. In a
As a
tabletop
bird
game.
in a video
In
game.
Minecraft.
As
In
the
Minecraft.
Kenku.
No! I like to think that this is his character Tamias, because why not?
Quick,
His name's
revivify,
Thomas.
revivify him, quick.
I don't have
Where's the
that spell
cleric?
yet.
Well,
Oh, man. An
get
ending
it.
most foul. Shut up, chat. Oh my God.
I approve.
arrows, I appreciate it.
Fantastic. Ugh.
Good sash.
Well, yeah, that was a good
Cole.
session. There was a lot of really
Good
good shit that
sash.
happened. I'm proud of you guys.
Wow.
That was good stuff.
You almost
RP
made
is
me
good.
cry, Juzo. I'm gonna fight you.
Good. It's my job. I'm
Oh,
trying. Trying
I'm
my
gonna fist
best.
fight you in the club, dog.
I love old Farmer Loman, man.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was my best northerner accent that was terrible. It was like all over the aisle.
Listen.
You know, all over the aisle is good for a guy. who
Somewhere
got
not here. That's what I always say.
his eye punched in.
Listen, I feel like you can get away with like accent slips when you're playing
Oh,
D&D,
especially in
because
D&D,
it's
yeah.
fantasy.
Yeah, it's whatever I want it to be, man.
That's just what the accent is.
It's intentional.
Mhm.
It's all intentional.
Yeah. I had a character that goes from like Russian to like this weird Antonio Banderas kind of thing. And those are the two poles, and I just kind of go across that spectrum the entire time. It's great. Okay. All right, so that is it for tonight in the Shadows over Velda. Episode 12, we are slowly beginning to reach another climax, and we're learning more about our characters every day. Trust me, there's all sorts of I've been in everybody's DMs poking for lore drops and all
yeah.
sorts of good things that we're going to be able to reveal about everybody soon enough. It can't all be in one episode. I had to tell myself that when I was planning this session. I was just like, we can't reveal everything in one episode. Just take your time. It's okay. It's okay. There's plenty of time. But is there anything you guys want to hype up? Is there anything you guys want to talk about in your world? What's going on? Get people on a train for?
I will be guesting Washington State Summerfest this coming weekend.
Woo.
So not this Saturday, but next Saturday I will be in Washington all weekend. So if there are any Velders in town, please come see me. Come say hello. I'll be there. I will have Argentum Prince as well. So
Oh,
if
sick.
you want a sweet little genty Jew, come say hello.
Oh shit,
I'd love to meet y'all.
that's
Wow.
fantastic. Argentum print? Is it the one that we saw with the sweet
Yeah.
green neon? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got permission from my friend Eleanor to use it at cons. I was like, you want
Let's go.
more money so I can
Fantastic.
use this at
Take my
cons?
money.
So yeah, so I've got the really sick Argentum print and all my other anime prints and all the huge. But yeah,
Oh yeah, did we show that print? I don't know. We got it.
I don't know if we showed this.
I don't know or not. This is a print that we had made a month and a half ago, something like that. And I am going to be doing player features, so we'll have alpha and then a player feature as their VTuber. And it'll have the same background and everything. We'll use the same artist, but I want to try and make a cool little set. I like collecting art, even if nothing comes of it. It's just nice to have visualizations and things like that. Speaking of, we got 2 new character NPC references. The vote that we had in the Shadows over Welde Discord seems overwhelmingly in favor of Priestess Zyra getting the next full body, full color treatment. But I made the mistake of telling our artist to do, hey, can you draw the goblin party? And she's like, yeah, but it's like 5 characters. It's going to take a little bit. So we have 2 of the goblin boys done.
2 revealed today.
We have 2 revealed today. We have our good friend Jockey done, and we have Rockback. And the remaining ones will be done throughout the next week, and then we'll be getting on. That's Jockey.
Oh, he's a patootie.
Cute little guy.
Look at this dude.
Wow.
Look at
Well,
that
now I
dude.
can't let him die either. Now.
He looks
And
so
now
much
he has a
nicer.
face. And then
That's so cute. I always imagine goblins with like the football heads.
yeah, the wide heads.
Yeah.
And that's Rockback. You could land a plane on that
Aw.
eyebrow right there.
Look at that brow.
Yeah, you got a
What a
solid.
good boy.
They truly do look so approachable.
They do.
Yeah.
Which is why they're the ones who are stealing from humans. Just like, you know, this is a goblin I can have a beer with, right?
Do all goblins have tails?
Nope, that's an artist choice. I give Vieira like all.
I mean, I
sorts
like
of-
it. I'm just.
Yeah, I think it's great. It adds a lot of personality. But yeah, I let Vieira kind of do what she wants when I give her the basic descriptions, and she's just like, "Hey, is this good?" and gives me like gold, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, that's fucking great. That looks
Keep
great."
It coming. Keep it coming.
But yeah, the next full body is going to be Lady Zyra, and then we'll get that done, and we'll get the rest of the Goblin Boys done, and then hopefully at some point we'll assemble all the art together into this big collage, and it'll look really cool. And then I'll frame it and put it on my office door.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
And let's see. Anybody else have anything major they want to plug?
I do. Tomorrow at Game Realms in Burbank, California, I'm going to be doing the signing event with people from the Unicorn Overlord cast. So if you want to hang out, I'll be there 12 to 4 p.m. at Game Realms.
Absolutely
yeah.
By
game.
now.
Fire game. That game is so good.
Unicorn
Yeah.
Overlord? Yeah, yeah.
It's great.
I've seen some gameplay, and it definitely seems up my alley.
It's very good. Highly recommend it.
Who else are you going to be with?
It's a bunch of the people of the cast, including,
yeah.
but not limited to, Kylan DePorter, Skylar Davenport, Kira Buckland, Laura Post, Christian Lamont, and more.
That's
You're
a
gonna
lot
say,
of good beans.
but not
Go-
limited to Ben Bauman's. That's it.
Listen, I don't have my VTuber yet. I can still talk as myself,
There
okay?
you go. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
True.
But,
Awesome. Yeah, go check out Game Realms. It's in Burbank. It's a fantastic place, even just to be a patron. Let alone getting the opportunity to have signings with awesome people. So good shit, man. Good luck. Have fun. Tomorrow I will be signing. I am currently in San Antonio, so I will be signing at the Persona event. Where exactly is? Hold on, I have to find. Because it's like not quite a convention, but it's like in a convention center. Let me double check and see exactly where it is. We had a fantastic dinner right before it. But wait, where's my fucking one sheet? Just look up Persona events. You'll find it.
True.
It's PURRRSONA. It's fantastic. I'm excited. We're gonna be signing for like 7 hours, so it's gonna be insane. We start at 3 and at 9, so it goes pretty late. So yeah, come by and say hi. Also, music video for my band's new single "War" is out. That's what played before the game started.
Banger.
We're very excited to have it because we got a real a really good editor to do a really good music video for us for this, and all of our music videos, when we do a music video, is going to follow this format. We're also releasing our lo-fi album here in subsequent winks, so check out the videos for the lo-fi album coming at ya.
Nice.
But yeah, so anything else anybody want to talk about before we hang up our coats for the night?
Yeah, my D&D show, Just Roll With It, I think is gonna be an exciting next few weeks for us. I think tomorrow there's a little update video going on that may or may not have some dice attached to it.
Let's
Oh,
go,
shit.
Jerwy. Let's go.
Oh.
Pretty awesome. Then next weekend, I think I've been running this Monster Hunter themed campaign.
Oh, cool.
I think that
Ooh.
goes live finally. It's been very fun. That's
Aw,
pretty much it.
nice.
Fantastic, man. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I
Okay.
will go and say, as per usual, I will be streaming, so nothing special. So how about we let Eros take my spot?
Yeah,
next week?
Eros, shill something.
Yeah, Eros
What do
will
we
type
got?
in the chat, and I will be the proverbial mouthpiece for
Yeah,
Jeremy.
read it out loud. Do a voice.
Do a voice.
Do a Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
Do you guys?
Do
Do a moist, critical voice.
So tomorrow is my 1-year stream anniversary. Ooh. If you'd like to stop by, heart, follow at Eros right now. Do it.
Yeah, Eros'
it
1 year
Follow
stream
Eros.
anniversary is tomorrow. He is a fantastic streamer. Go check him out. His link is literally right there, Eros Alekin.
Yeah.
Go check him out. Oh, also we have a new boyfriend CD on the Patreon. If you are so inclined, sub at the $25 tier, and you'll get access to over an hour of boyfriend audio content. Nothing sexual.
Lack of ham, lack of
Lax
taste.
ham. Sorry.
Aw,
4 out
I
of 4 out
almost
of
played.
5. Not enough ham. All right,
about-
so we're gonna take this opportunity to thank you, chat. Thank you, fandom. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us on a Friday night. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I love each and every one of you. And remember to be excellent to everyone you meet, because everyone is fighting a hard battle, and sometimes you can't see it. All right, let's all say
so
good night,
true.
everybody.
Good night,
Good
everybody.
night.
Good
Jam,
night,
jam, jam,
everybody.
jam,
Good night.
jam.